rocking, Padraig. Get on him, will you? Oh, good man. You're like a brick wall.
Where there's hurling, there's Centra.
Will it be a blue and gold year, or will it be black and amber once again?
That's the question of the moment.
The pre-match talking is all over.
Whistle the throw in and the game is on.
Richie Power finishes.
Will that be the difference now?
Good work there by Niall O'Mara. Never scored a goal until now. And it's Kilkenny in front now by a goal, and here they come again.
He's got it. He scored. And Lord Corbin has got a hat-trick. They should be here for Kelly.
It's a goal. It's a goal. Here comes Sherry Cameron. A goal in every single game.
You know, you don't like to see any player being sent off in Ireland finals.
His first ever championship goal. Will he be the hero? No. They're not sure. They're not sure.
But suddenly the momentum is swinging to Munster and to the Premier County of Tipperary.
Wounded cat is a very dangerous animal.
Ain't that the truth? And here come Derek Ling, 6 in a row Leinster champions with their sights set on getting back to an All-Ireland final 2 years on from their 9-point defeat to Limerick in the decider. How much they were really tested in their latest Leinster title run-in may be of concern. Mind you, Tip may not have been helped either by a 23-point victory over Laois, followed by a surprisingly comfortable 8-point win over Galway. And they haven't reached an All-Ireland final since Liam Sheedy's second Liam McCarthy triumph all of 6 years ago. As if the Cats need any more motivation, a place in the All-Ireland final against Cork is just one win away for both these counties, throwing in at 4 o'clock. And it is Liam and Jackie were alongside Ursula for this one. Put the face on Liam already. Oh, 6 years. How is it 6 years since you met in the championship?
Yeah, I know, it's a long time. It's a long time, and I think for this group of Tipperary players, you know, I think at the start of the season, Joanne, you wouldn't have picked out Tipperary as being a team for that being the last 4. So they've done really, really well. But they're coming up again a really seasoned Kilkenny team. It's their 7th semi-final in a row, you know. So the thing is, can Tip find the form that they had in Cusack Park and down in Munster and bring it to Croke Park today? I think if they can, they have a real chance, because they're a really good, they have great momentum coming in, but obviously they're facing into Kilkenny. And I suppose after yesterday, Joanne, the view is who's going to come second in the All-Ireland race for that Ireland, because I'm not sure if they gave Cork the cup on the way home yesterday.
He managed to get all of you in there, thrown under the bus in one go, Jackie.
They've been hiding on us there for a few years, so it's great to have them back in Croke Park and renew what is a beautiful rivalry. It's just a rivalry that evokes something deep and something very emotive in Kilkenny and Tipperary, and it's just brilliant to have it back. And look, today is it's going to be a completely different game to yesterday. Yesterday was probably more open. This will be attritional. This will be hugely physical, and you know, not much between both teams. It's well set up.
As the neutral,
yeah.
What are you expecting to see in terms of, I mean, we know what happened 6 years ago. Not only did Liam leave with Liam McCarthy once again, but of course we had a very crucial sending off and there plenty of controversy.
Yeah, I think as the guy said, it's an intense rivalry between these sides. There'll be no love lost between them anyway. And, you know, Tip have had the upper hand at minor and under 20 in the last year. So I think Kilkenny might be still hurting from that 2019 final loss. But I think there's going to be very little between the teams. I don't think it's going to be as free-flowing as yesterday, but I expect fireworks right from the get-go, really.
OK, we'll be hearing from both managers in just a moment. First of all, let's get confirmation of the two teams that are going to lie out today with Ger Canning.
Thank you very much indeed, Joanne. We're going to start with the Leinster champions, and it's a notable milestone for Kilkenny goalkeeper Owen Murphy, his 70th championship appearance in this, his 10th All-Ireland semi-final. For the last 6 of those, he's had the imposing figure of Hugh Lawler at fullback, as ever, guarding the path to goal. Another part of that experienced backline is Paddy Deegan at left half-back, and Paddy today is looking for a 4th semi-final victory. The Cats have remained consistent in midfield for most of this championship. The highly industrious Cian Kenny and Jordan Malloy, once again, they're at 8 and 9. Another of Kilkenny's most steadfast performers this year has been the tenacious Billy Ryan of Graig-Ballycallan. He's got 2 goals and 13 points so far. And leading the line in his 16th All-Ireland semi-final is TJ Reid. It's his 10th time playing championship against Tipperary, looking today for his 6th win. Well, Tipperary's goalkeeper Rhys Shelley won back his place in goal for the crucial match 8 weeks ago against Clare, and he's held on to that #1 spot ever since. Cornerback Michael Breen is set to play in his 5th All-Ireland semi-final. The first of those was 10 years ago, and it was against Galway. His captain Ronan Maher at centre-half back follows a similar path, highlighted by 2 All-Ireland final wins, and of course they were against today's opponents. Tip have chopped and changed in midfield their pairings this year. Today it's Willie Connors of Killadangan and is joined by Conor Stakelum of Thurles Sars. One of the Premier's big successes this summer has been the form of the number 11, Andrew Ormond. He started against Clare and he's got 2 goals and 13 points scored so far. While up top, the experience of John McGrath and Jason Ford blend with the useful excellence of teenager Dara McCarthy. Well, we're going to hear from the respective managers now. We're starting with Derek Ling, chatting with Damien Lawler.
Derek, best of luck to you guys today. How have the last few weeks been?
Yeah, look, very good. We've trained very hard and, I think we've used the time well, but it's all about bringing it to the match now today. No matter how you prepare, you always have to bring it on the day when it counts. So, look, really looking forward to it now.
Have you seen that kind of that energy and ferocious commitment in training that's going to be needed today, Derek, in the last few weeks?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. We've really good competition there, and a few changes again today, but very competitive, very hard to pick the 15 and the 26. So, look, we need everybody to show up today. We're going to need 5 guys to come on as well and have a big impact, and that's what the game requires now. So, we need everybody to show up.
Derek, you've given a lot of players a go this year. Are you very proud and encouraged by how they've taken their chance? Like, just look at your midfield, for example. They've 17 points from play between them, but the likes of Mossy Keown, John Donnelly, Billy Ryan gone to new levels. They've really bought into what you've asked them to do this year.
Yeah, look, they've all really stepped up, and look, they've been having really good years, but I think they've brought it to another level this year. But look, the real tests start now, and that's when we need to, show what we're about. But I'm no doubt, look, the application attitude from those guys has been always top class, and they've taken it to a new level, and we need them to bring that same enthusiasm, that commitment again today.
And a final question from me. I know you're totally focused on your own side. Where are Tipperary's main danger areas then, or is it a collective thing?
It's a collective, always is. I mean, look, they're playing really well this year. Huge pace all throughout the field. Just with Tipperary, top class hurlers, so very comfortable on the ball, well able to use it. So we're going to be tested in lots of different ways today. But look, when you get to the last 4, that's always the case, and we have to take on the challenge now.
Liam, best luck today. What have the last couple of weekends been like for you guys?
Yeah, Damien, it's been good. Thankfully, we've arrived here in full fitness. Plenty of areas to work after, obviously, after our quarter-final win v Galway. So been working hard on them over the last 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll in good shape to take on the might of the Cats today.
Every game that your team have played, like, they've risen to the occasion. They seem to be learning from game to game. Kilkenny do have a settled midfield and all that, Liam, but do you think that not being in Croke Park for such a long period of time will that bother anybody?
Look, it's going to be different for a number of our fellas today, Damien. There's no point in saying different, but these guys have a lot of underage success, used to playing in big arenas already. So I think there's no thinking we won't be using that as an excuse if things don't go our way today.
I know it seems like a basic question, but how important is the work rate and application in the first quarter just to get a foothold in that game, Liam?
Yeah, it's massive every day. I think every team chases that, Damien, don't they, really? So, we'll have to start this match really well, make sure that we're right in this game into half-time and beyond. And Kilkenny are, as you said, a really good seasoned team with massive experience here in Croke Park. So it's a big challenge for us today, but one that we're really looking forward to.
OK, enjoy, Liam, and best of luck.
Thanks very much.
The little cheeky smile when we refer to those mighty Cats. They're all at it, Jackie. They're all at it before the ball's
We're well used
in.
to it, Joanne. We're well used to it.
Just listening to Derek Ling, every time I think I'm struck by the fact that he's so understated, and we nearly forget that he's following in these great footsteps. Is there quite a similar look, though, almost to not to the way they play, but perhaps what it's built on, how they play to under Brian Cody.
Yeah, I think they have two really big pillars down in Kilkenny, and one is that you're able to lead and win things when you get in there, and secondly the level of work rate. And the leadership that Hugh Lawler has shown in the edge of the square in that Leinster final, I think he's in hurler of the year territory. There's no question about it. And I think this guy Adrian Mullen, he's really important to Kilkenny because he gets on ball, he plays deep, he's given the free roll, takes out Gavin Lee, the sweeper, into his clubman TJ, back to John Donnelly, nice simple point over the bar. So his positioning back inside his own 55 is big. And look, if they get you in this situation where they swarm, they'll always have an out ball. Paddy Deegan is waiting in case it breaks. Jordan Molloy eventually gets on the ball. Who's inside his own 45 waiting to pick it up? Adrian Mullen. Heads up hurling, picks out TJ, and of course gorgeous flick, wins the ball, wins the free and puts it over the bar. And they do this so well, and again, if they smell a rat, as soon as they turn you over up here, they're in, and they're in like a flash. And as an opposing team, this is the last thing you need, is all your players running back towards the goal, and TJ Reid inside. And here he is. He'll never miss those. He'll always put those away. And in fairness to Galway, they came back at periods, but in the 66th minute, get back to a 4-point game. Up he comes, plucks the ball out of the sky. Who is he giving it to? Adrian Mullen. Over the bar, match out to 5 points. Galway managed to get the next score, bring it back to 4 again. And here we go again, Conor Whelan. At this stage, they're gone route 1. And as a manager or as a player up the other end of the field, if you see your fullback doing that, like the leadership that Hugh Lawler, that Adrian Mullen and TJ Reid showed in that Leinster final, I think it tells you everything that you need to know about Kilkenny. And equally then, I think the work rate they put in, because the middle third is going to need to be won today. They tip of a lot of energy in there, but their work rate really does stand out. They're impressive.
All that experience Liam referred to, and it's throughout the team as well. Tip do have dots of it, but their turnover, even just from the master, is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, there are two teams in different stratospheres completely. If you think of the experience Kilkenny have, look at this chart here. This is the team that finished the round robin for Tip this year versus a team that started the last game, and there's one change. We suspect that Peter McGarry, but there's 9 different faces.
That's unbelievable.
That's a huge level of churn for a team like Tipperary, but they've been hugely impressive. Robert Dial, this guy goes about his business so quiet. This was on Tony Kelly when he man-marked. Simple ball. He's a real out-and-out defender. And then they've guys that have just come back and probably just got a new leaf of life. Darren McCarthy's been a huge addition in terms of his free taking. He chips in with his couple of points. And I mean, this goal, it's finished by John McGrath, who just seems like he's totally rejuvenated. Brian O'Mara off the shoulder. Onto Alan Tynan. Onto Brian O'Mara again. And I love this. Lots of lads that shoot from there. He brings it right in. He thinks like an assassin, like TJ Reid, like Aaron Gallan. John McGrath he's been a breath of fresh air. He's around a long time. His battle with Hugh Lawler will be very interesting today, but it just shows what Liam Cahill has built. He's built a new team. Guys that have been kind of out in the cold, they're back in. They've new young lads coming in. I mean, Sam O'Farrell, I think this guy could be a pillar in which Tip will build around for years to come. But it's just the contrast in where both teams are at.
And the mix, you could tell when Jackie was talking about the mix between those newer players coming in, but how they've gelled with the older players. We was talking about the full forward line, but you wanted to pick up on it around the half forward line.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the most pleasing aspects in Tip's game this year is the movement, and 2 guys in particular, Armand and Morris. It's hard to believe that, Armand didn't start in the first 2 games. For me, the game against Clare was the turning point in Tip's season. He scored 2-1 that day, and it was their first win in 10 attempts. But it's also their work rate, it's their movement off the ball. Their partnership is really, really strong, but they're also not afraid to take on the ball and attack the defences, and it's been really difficult for the defences to stop these players. They're growing in confidence in every single game, and they've scored 231 from play, and they're going to need serious minding. Armand, this is his first year where he's featuring in the half-hour line, and he's playing with a maturity. But what I love about Jake Morris in this clip, he's after moving into the full forward line, and his timing of the run is impeccable. He's unmarkable when he's like this, and Tip look up, find the space, and it makes it really difficult for a defender to stop that, because it's his movement off the ball. My kind of thing for Kilkenny today is, the conundrum is Richie Reid going to sit back and let Andrew Ormond play out deep, or are they going to push up on him? Because that's going to have a huge bearing on the game.
We'll actually get Jackie's thoughts on that in just a moment. Jackie, though, seriously outnumbered. I wonder how safe two tip men are in the middle of the pitch right now. Brendan is with David.
Joanne, Tipperary bordered by 8 counties, and Brendan, was Kilkenny the county for you when you were hurling, or was Clare the biggest rivalry?
I think Clare, obviously, in Munster, but when you get to Croke, Damien, it's all about Kilkenny. They've been our nemesis for so many years of my generation. We got the odds on them in 19. It's hard to imagine it's been that long since Tipperary seen a hurlers have graced this pitch, but they're here today, and you're right, the team below are the old enemy.
Yeah, and since 2019, Kilkenny have played 15 championship matches in this venue. They're well used to it. They're used to the swirling breezes. They're used to the surface. Could that be a factor today for Tipperary's inexperience here?
Well, the inexperience, but Tipperary are bringing huge energy to the game, Damien. Just with a shower of rain there just at the end of the extra time, the camogie. Pitch looks to be very greasy. There's going to be long ball in here. The middle third is going to be a battle zone, but inside is where it's going to be won and lost. So these conditions, they're not great for under full if you're a defender.
You've got the likes of Billy Ryan, John Donnelly, Mossy Keown and Jordan Malloy, Keane Kenny. Their workman-like ethic is unbelievable, but still they can pop up for scores in the right places. Have you been impressed with Kilkenny's development this year?
Yeah, Kilkenny been really good. I think the way they've changed up their play. Last year under Derek Ling, they went a lot short. I think today we'll probably see them go a little bit longer than we've seen them. They work through the lines and all. I expect Tipperary maybe to push on the puck out, which will stop them playing that running game. But either way, these two teams today, Damon, have huge variety in the way they play.
If you look at the Tipperary forwards, young bucks ready to go. A lot of youngsters being brought onto the field this year that weren't maybe expected to be ready. Where's this game going to be won and lost in your opinion, Brendan?
Well, obviously it's who can get the ball into the full forward line. We saw last night that Cork got an ocean of ball in, and you saw the damage they could do. I think both teams are the same way here today. If they can get it in, both will go different ways. Tip will try to get the ball in low, but for me the biggest danger for Tipperary is that when the ball comes here, the half back line, it's that diagonal ball, that ball to the far side that'll suit TJ and Cody to try to get it around the back and catch behind Tipperary.
That's exactly what Dublin got caught on yesterday, that diagonal ball into the right corner, but that takes ferocious work rate. Then would you expect the first few Tipperary subs to be in that half-forward line department?
You'd expect that, and the energy around the middle third, but the cornerstone of Liam Cald's team in 2025 has been work rate, whether Sam O'Farrell, Darren McCarthy coming the back. All the lads have really stepped up. They will need that in spades today to stop the delivery going in, as will Kilkenny.
I just see David Herity there in the Tipperary camp. It's still a strange sight, but he's doing a lot more coaching this year, a very valued member of the setup, and being a Kilkenny member as well for so long. I suppose that's the rivalry in essence, and where Liam Cahill lives right on the border as well.
Exactly, you go around Callan, Ballingarry, Mullinahone, those areas. It's fairly tough going over there tomorrow morning if they can't get the result today, but we'll see. It'll be just an unbelievable battle.
What's your gut feeling, Brendan?
I'd like my heart set and my head says Tipperary today. I think the energy, enthusiasm, momentum they have, huge Tipperary crowd here as well today. It might be enough to roar them home, but it'll take a big push.
Thanks for your time, Brendan. Back to you guys in studio.
You still speaking to David Herity, Jackie Tyrrell?
Haven't spoken to him in a while, haven't seen him. Uncle Kenny, sure.
Richie Reid, he does have a tendency to sit. Is that what he's going to do today? And are they in trouble if he does?
It's Russian roulette. It's a conundrum. You looked at even the game yesterday. The key part is if you haven't pressure in that middle third and you're defending 40-50 yards of space, you're in trouble. You're on an island, and if you're able to ping ball in, you're in trouble. But if you can get, if Adrian Mullen, if John Donnelly can get among Ronan Maher, get him hitting off the back foot, well then the full back line have a chance, because that ball is coming in, it's been floated a bit higher, you can get closer to your man, get a small tug of the jersey and slow him down. But if Ronan Maher's able to plant his foot, zing balls inside, we're in big trouble. And likewise at the other end, and it's fascinating. Cork push, their half back line push, and they back him, because Sean Dunn, is an exceptional athlete, Owen Downey's very well defended, Hugh Lawler's probably best in class. So it's a hard one. It depends how good your full back line are defending space and the pressure applied out there.
I think the matchups are very intriguing though, Joanne. You know, I mean, TJ Reid, you know, anytime we played him, Brendan Maher was just positioned on him and said, Brendan, try and put him to sleep for a while here. And he's a hard man to put to sleep. He's really, really good. And I think Ronan Maher, you can't be just strong with TJ. You got to be smart. And I think, you know, Ronan Maher could be someone that they'd say.
So will he follow? So will Ronan Maher leave his position
potentially, I think
and
the matchups will be very, very interesting today, because I think they'll look at TJ Reid and say, if we quieten TJ Reid, could that? So Mikey Breen might pick up Owen Cody. Would Robert Dial pick up Martin Keown? I think that's what makes it intriguing. Or will they leave Owen Connolly? Because Owen Connolly, the six backs are very rotational. You know, the two cornerbacks are probably manufactured cornerbacks, but my God, they're having some seasons. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they line up and when the game settles in the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Ursula, we heard Brendan there, and also Damien asked Liam about it, about the lack of Croke Park experience. Liam Cahill tried to play it down. They played in all these big tournaments, finals, underage and big venues. It's not the same though, is it?
No, like Croke Park is a different kettle of fish, and for a lot of these, you know, tip players, Robert Doyle, Darren McCarthy, Andrew Orman, who've had brilliant championships, but it takes on a new aspect to your game when you're playing here in Croke Park at the biggest stage. You know, nerves will come into play. Either team will be looking to settle quickly, but you know, winning that first ball or winning that dirty ball or getting an interception in, that's going to be crucial today for some of those younger guys. But when you're young like that too, you're also fearless. You know mistakes will happen, but it's about winning the next ball. And Liam Cahill has done a fantastic job with those guys this year.
Jackie, how big a concern is it how Kilkenny over the last couple of years have just gone to sleep at times during second halves?
It's a huge concern, but there's one favourable thing for Kilkenny. They're playing Tipperary. You don't sleep when you play Tipperary. You don't sleep for a minute, because if your eyes begin to start to go to sleep, they'll have 2 goals gone in and that'll be it and the game can be over. So it's an advantage for Kilkenny from that point of view. But one interesting thing I do think, Hugh Lawler's hurler of the year, there's no doubt about it, best full back in the country. The only time he struggles is when he's taken away from the square. You go back to the league final when Shane O'Donnell brought him out. You go back when Aaron Shanahan brought him out. If Tip can actually take him out of the square and maybe do decoy runs and get John McGrath to go to the corner, it could be a question who slots in there. Shane Murphy hasn't had a whole lot of game time this year. Mikey Butler might be out the field following Jake Morris. So it's going to be an interesting one. Liam is right, the matchups are fascinating. Will Owen Connolly follow TJ? I look at that Tip full back line. It's like a renovated full back line. Mikey Breen is a natural half forward. Young Guy plays full forward for his club. Owen Connolly's not a natural full back. You get away with it to a certain level, but when you come up against top class forwards, that's when the real test comes.
And we haven't even mentioned Martin Keown, really. He's had 6 goals in all the 6 games he's played in today. He sometimes can go under the radar. You know, there'll be a lot of attention on TJ and Owen Cody, but Mossy Keown gets himself in the right place at the right time, and he scored 6-8 in the championship, and I think he could have a big game here today.
Jackie, what's going to happen out here?
Absolute World War III, I'd say. It'll be absolutely pandemonium for the first 5-10 minutes. I'd say it'll settle down. I think we're stronger in our full back and our full forward line. I'd worry about Tip's half forward line. I think it's pacey, I think it's movement, I think there's scores, I think there's goals. If we can break even there, we have a great chance.
For all the talk of all this work rate, which we accept is so important, Liam, will it come down to who's smartest?
Sorry?
Will it come down to who is smartest?
Well, I think that's going to be a very, very important part, because the game is going to take on a life of its own, and you can't chase, you can't have wing backs gone the whole way down to the other 45. So, look, I think for Tipperary, they have big match experience. They don't have Croke Park experience. There's a lot of All-Ireland winners in that team. Noel McGrath will have these boys told, this is where you want to play, this is where you want to live, this is where you want to be. So if Tip can settle and get in the game early on, I think they'll be really, really happy.
And what difference might that man make when he comes on to the pitch a little bit later on? Tipperary have actually won the last 2 champion meetings between these sides. They haven't done 3 in a row against their neighbours since stringing together 5 championship wins between 1937 and 1964. Most we live to Trochtach the Fall off Gaeilge le Pat Fleury agus Gary McDonagh, Aaron Serview, RT player opposite there on RT News Channel. Our commentary team here though for this All-Ireland hurling semi-final, it's Michael Diglin alongside Gerard.
Thank you very much indeed, Joanne. Wow, what a most captivating atmosphere once again at Croke Park. They're saying about 65,000 people are going to be on the ground today to see this second match of the day, again between Kilkenny and Tipperary. Opinion divided as to who's going to win, of course, but unquestionably these 2 hurling powers have produced some of the greatest hurling games I've certainly seen here in Croke Park over the years, and a rivalry, Michael, that's as keen as ever.
Absolutely, Ger. What an atmosphere, as you said there. A huge crowd from Tip in particular here today. But look, I think all week I've been
it's been a toss-up in my head. You know, people talk about Kilkenny's experience. They've only 3 lads with All-Ireland medals playing today, the 2 Reeds and Owen Murphy. Tipperary have actually 5 guys, the Michael Breen, Ronan Maher, Jake Morris, John McGrath, Jason Ford, and you have Noel McGrath and Seamus Kennedy on the bench, and Noel McGrath has been massively influential coming off the bench. So I think Tip maybe have a slightly stronger bench. I think Kilkenny's starting team might be that bit stronger. The Croke Park experience is huge, and one thing I was thinking about as well was Darren McCarthy, the young free taker. You know, with that experience in their team, with Jason Ford in the team, a great free taker, they've left the frees with him. He's never played in Croke Park before. It's a big one for him today. You have TJ Reid, who's I think on his 89th championship appearance today, taking the frees for Kilkenny. He doesn't miss, so I think that might be a factor, and if McCarthy slots the first 1 or 2, that'll obviously settle him.
All to be revealed between now and about 5:30. So before the match gets underway, crowd standing here facing the tricolour once again. Final words from Ronan Maher to his team. Everybody standing now for the playing of Our Own Navian.
Mental fitness and resilience, both on and off the pitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to make some more noise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, break that silence!
When we sing our national anthem before our national games, we celebrate our heritage, our identity, and the culture passed down to us. We all have a duty to uphold this tradition and demonstrate its value through our actions, setting an example for our youth and communities by respecting the anthem until its conclusion. Anisha Corja, our own Navian, our Casadoin, ag Banachor our Dine, Fustur Ronan Morine.
Only 3 teams left in the hunt for the Liam McCarthy Cup 2025. The 3 counties that top the roll of honour in hurling: Kilkenny with 36 wins, Cork with 30, Tip with 28. Is it to be a Cork versus Kilkenny final, or Cork versus Tipperary? Man in charge is James Owens, who's handled 3 All-Ireland finals in the past, including their last meeting, which was in 2019. Kilkenny won the toss, off we go. And Kilkenny got an early possession here through Billy Ryan. Going right through the centre, 2-3 Tip men after him. Still Billy Ryan taking on too many, eventually losing his way. Whipped away out of danger by Brian O'Mara, the left half back for Tipperary. Ambitious that time by Billy Ryan. And Tip able to go into their first attack. Looking to try and get something out of this. Very near the sideline, kept in play just about there by Jason Ford. It's with John McGrath, threaded forward towards Darragh McCarthy. It'd be interesting to see how those 3 men operate here in the space of Croke Park. It's McCarthy trying his luck with that shot. It's gone to the right, however, and it's gone wide. Opening attack, producing nothing for Tipperary.
Yeah, and looking down, I don't see Kilkenny have made any change in their full back line. I thought Mikey Butler might track Jake Morris or Andrew Orme, but he hasn't. He stayed in the full back line.
Owen Murphy, the Kilkenny goalkeeper, down once again towards his captain. This time John Donnelly trying to get to it, taken instead here by Jordan Malloy. Flicked forward there as far as TJ Reid, looking for the opening score of the game. TJ Reid gets the opening white flag in his 94th championship appearance. The great man himself, 37 years of age now, gives the Cats the lead.
Yeah, beautiful score. You see Ronan Maher gone in full back on him. Tip have made a few changes. I'll fill you in now in a sec.
Rhys Shelley with that restart for Tipperary. Nicely taken here by Conor Stakelum, the Thurles man. Forward there as far as Sam O'Farrell. Helped out again by Conor Stakelum. Deep in the corner there, about to be challenged by Owen Cody way back. Stakelum still, flicks it back out towards Sam O'Farrell. Moved back again. Very near the end line now at this stage. Kept in play, dangerous. Sam O'Farrell once again, the under-20 captain. And that ball's got out of play in the end, so a second wide by Tipperary. Sam O'Farrell in the green helmet. So often we have seen Noel McGrath as a sub today playing that number 12 shirt and with the green helmet as well.
Yeah, huge work right there from Kilkenny. Yeah, Ronan Maher at full back, and Owen Connolly has moved out the field around the half back. A lot of rotation at the minute, but he seems to be on John Donnelly with Brian O'Mara picking up Billy Ryan.
Once again, the Kilkenny goalkeeper gets it downfield from the restart. TJ Reid was competing for it. Adrian Mullen has it outside the 45-metre line, looking at it, watching, but this time going to the right. First miss by a Kilkenny player. Early stages of this game. Weather conditions improved immeasurably from the end of the Camogie game, which was won by Tipperary. And Tip trying to get going here, down along the line here with Andrew Ormond. Under a lot of pressure there. Line ball will be to the Cats. Andrew Ormond has done really well this year in the championship. Jordan Malloy continuing his impressive partnership with Cian Kenny in the middle of the park for Kilkenny. Back to Paddy Deegan it comes. And that time the referee stepping in, whistling, notebook out.
Yeah, I think there was a strike on Paddy Deegan there just as he broke the tackle. There was a swipe, and I'd say the linesman brought it to the attention of the ref. He didn't seem to see it. He didn't give the free at the time.
And it's Darragh McCarthy.
Yeah, if you watch the replay, just when Paddy Deegan broke the tackle here, he just goes out. There's a swipe in there in the hand, and
quite correctly the referee giving him a card for that.
Absolutely.
Free coming up, and it'll be Richie Reid who will take it. Breeze blowing diagonally across the field over towards the Cusack stand side. Lessened in strength since the middle of the Camogie match. There was a push that time. Brian O'Mara, the player who ended up on the deck, it'll be a free to Tipperary to be taken by Owen Connolly. But a very good season so far. That's not a very good ball, however, straight to Mikey Carey. And from there is John Donnelly watching that one sail away towards the right-hand side, and another miss by Kilkenny.
Yeah, that was two poor wides. See Kilkenny trying to push up in the puck out. They want Kilkenny to go, or they want Tipperary to go along.
John Donnelly again in there competing for this one, but it's taken again by Conor Stakelum, his third involvement since the start, knocking it back there, asking an awful lot. Craig Morgan right in the thick of all of that one, coming out to try and win it. There was Willie Connors, didn't get to it. Lots of pressure. TJ Reid flicking it out to his right-hand side. Out there it goes, out there towards Owen Cody. Back after an injury, played in the opening two matches of the Leinster Championship. Missed a lot of hurling since that time. Owen Connolly back guarding the path to goal from a Tip point of view.
Yeah, huge work rate again. They're led by TJ Reid. I see Adrian Mullen has kind of started right corner forward as well, and Mikey Breen has followed Owen Cody. Owen Cody has gone to wing forward, centre forward, so Kilkenny might have been expecting that, so to move Cody out the field and have Mullen inside.
It'll change, you can be sure. Back to John Donnelly again from his own sideline cut, and that's one right across the face of goal there. Not a very inspiring start, it has to be said. Just 1 point in the opening 5 minutes. That's scored by TJ Reid.
Yeah, three wides by Kilkenny. John Donnelly's at two of them. Adrian Mullen had an easy chance. He had Jordan Murray outside him, so a little bit of unrest. But Tip haven't, they've only had one wide from Darragh McCarthy. They're struggling to get possession.
From the short puck out, it's Owen Connolly getting it downfield once again. Tip working hard to try and get possession, but Kilkenny matching that intensity level. Sam O'Farrell trying to get it up onto his stick. It'll be a line ball. It'll be to Tipperary. Sam O'Farrell looking to send this one in. He was the captain, of course, of the under-20 team that beat Kilkenny this year. Had a very, very good year under the management of Brendan Cummins. Flicked back. O'Farrell again trying to get to it, this time stopped by Richie Reid. No progress being made, stalemate situation down in the corner. Waiting for it to come back out here, and eventually does come out, and it comes out to Cian Kenny. helped out. Into space it comes. Way back there to help was John Donnelly once again, out as far as Paddy Deegan. Paddy has played in so many different positions for Kilkenny over the last number of years. Nicely down to Billy Ryan amid an earlier run, which didn't produce anything. This time has the opportunity, steadies himself, tricky angle inside the right-hand upright, and a second point of the game for Kilkenny, and scored by Billy Ryan.
Yeah, that was beautifully worked out. Paddy Deegan, lovely ball down the wing, and Billy Ryan, what a year he's having. The improvement, he's been on the panel for quite a number of years, but he's become a leader this year.
Ronan Maher, talk about leaders, very much the leader of this Tipperary team. Down into the inside forward line, nothing coming of that again. Once again it's Paddy Deegan getting it out to the wings, out as far as Adrian Mullen, taking it past Jake Morris, on as far as Cian Kenny, into the centre. Opportunity to knock this one down here, beautifully done. There's the chance for Mossy Keown, and Mossy Keown jumps to the air, punches the air with delight, because he's got a point as well here. Won that little battle with his man there, Michael Breen, and got his first score of the game.
Yeah, and what I said about Billy Ryan, you can multiply it by 2 for Mossy Keown. The last couple of years he's been outstanding for Kilkenny, scoring goals at will, and that was, just to get him into the game, he was delighted with that one.
8 minutes are gone nearly, and they've done all the scoring so far, the Cats. Tipperary looking for a response. It's Jake Morris. Morris breezing in here, blocked, comes back out again. Another opportunity, back in the net. John McGrath with his 20th ever championship goal after 8 minutes of play. It's Tipperary's first score of the game. There was a little block on it, but it came out to John McGrath. What a finish.
Look at the coolness, Jerry. There's only one thing in his mind. He took an extra second, or a split second, and stuck it up in the roof of the net. This man has had an outstanding career for Tip. The last couple of years he looked like he was gone. He's not gone. He's been brilliant this year. What a goal.
That was a response to the last couple of scores by Kilkenny. Now back at the other end of the field, the Cats look to go back in front again, and they succeed. And once again it is the midfielder Jordan Malloy who comes up with this one. 10th point of this year's championship for him.
Great response, this midfielder, Kenny, Jordan Malloy, very hard working, but can get forward as well and score, and that's a beautiful score.
From the short puck out, down to Brian O'Mara for Tipperary, all the way down along the line, towards Andrew Orman, cutting inside here, getting past Mikey Carey, and Carey did enough to get the block on that, hooked in it, and the end result was it went out over the end line, and a missed opportunity for Andrew Orman and for Tipperary, their third wide, but a great block that time, a great hook by Mikey Carey. Watch this. Timing perfect.
Absolutely, Gerard. He'd be disappointed he lost the ball over his head, but Ormond and Jake Morris, having great years for Tip. They're very dangerous breaking in like that, and Tipper trying to play the ball wide on the puckouts to create that space. Only for a brilliant hook there by Mikey Carey, they were in on goal again.
Kilkenny by 1, Tipperary with just that one score so far. A goal after 8 minutes scored by John McGrath, the 30-year-old from Lockmore Castleiney. Ronan Maher ready to take this sideline cut for the Premier. Deep in there, all the way towards McGrath once again, blocked out. Back there to take it up is Richie Reid. Plays it back towards Paddy Deegan. And Deegan able to clip it forward here, down through the centre. In there as far as Shane Murphy. Out to Mikey Carey. Carey way down into the corner once again, down there towards Mossy Keown. Having a run beyond Michael Breen once again, causing problems early on for Breen. Breen did well that time, got a little block on it. Plays it back here as far as Owen Cody. Cody trying to advance. On his left-hand side, hitting the shot, but to the right and missed. It's 4 wides already by Kilkenny, but they're ahead by 1.
Yeah, that was great defending there by Robert Doyle. He stood on his feet. First of all, Mossy Keown was stood up by Mikey Breen, but Robert Doyle, he's tracking on Cody now. This thing is changing. It was a slow start, Charles, really picked up.
Certainly has all of that. Back deep inside his own half is Owen Cody once again. Over towards Paddy Deegan, flicked forward here to the captain, John Donnelly from Thomastown. Into space. It's 2 against 2 down there. It's pretty open. Possibilities for both sides. Good play by Ronan Maher. Just got the hurley in. But TJ Reid's not going to give up on that one. Turns on his right-hand side. Spins, pins, and scores. Another one for TJ Reid. Second opportunity in the match that he's got. And another point for TJ Reid, extending Kilkenny's lead. They're ahead by 2.
Yeah, he started really well. Kilkenny can do that. They can play the ball down the wing to Billy Ryan, to Mossy Keown, or they can go high into TJ. Him and Ronan Maher will have some battle in there.
Such dangerous forwards on both sides. That's a great catch, brilliantly taken by Paddy Deegan that time. Turns well, gives it out to his captain, John Donnelly. He's been the provider so far for so much down the other end of the field for his forwards. Breaks from TJ as far as Owen Cody, happily recovered from injury, spots Mossy Keoghan getting away from his man, and that's enough. Give him 2 or 3 yards. He'll avail of it. He's dangerous. He's got a second point, and now Kilkenny lead by double scores. 6 points to a goal, 6-3.
What a catch by Paddy Deegan, and John Donnelly is coming so deep. He's playing wing forward, but he's picking up ball in his own half-back line. He's playing a great link game there, but that was great teamwork all around. Lovely ball by Cody over the top. He could have slotted it himself, but he picked out Keoghan. Maybe he thought it was a half a goal chance on.
Once again, Rhys Shelley. The option usually taken is to go short. Ronan Maher then sends it a fair old distance, about 100 metres downfield. Brilliantly caught in there by McCarthy. On comes McGrath, trying to get loose, swings in one hand, and he puts it wide.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to criticise John McGrath. I think he couldn't have pulled the trigger when he caught it. He could have turned onto his right side. He cut back inside and just slips it wide. It was a great chance, and Tip creating those goal chances. They've no point on the board after 12 minutes.
That's 4 wides apiece per team so far. Broken down there by Owen Cody. John Donnelly once again onto it, having a major impact on this game. Here's Jordan Malloy raiding once again. He's already scored in this game. He's got another. It's all Kilkenny by and large in the opening 13 minutes of this match, and they have got themselves a nice lead so far. 7 points to that goal by Tipperary. 4 points without reply by the Cats. Robert Doyle then for Tipperary in his maiden season at this level. What a catch that is by Hugh Lawler. Imperious at full back, brilliantly done. Out as far as Paddy Deegan. Swings it away to the right-hand side, down towards Billy Ryan. Slips in that greasy surface, bit of rain before the end of the Camogie match, and Billy Ryan, untroubled by all of that, measures it delightfully and gets his second point of the game. And this is some spell for the Cats.
Yeah, well, what a catch by Hugh Lawler. I'm surprised Tipper going so long, so high in there top. I know John McGrath's got the goal, but a brilliant point, and there's a quick puck out, Conor Stakelum, and it's over the bar.
Well done indeed by Conor Stakelum. First of the day for him. That's Willie Connors alongside him. Well, that was Stakelum there, getting his 10th point of this year's campaign.
Yeah, clever puck out. I don't think going long into Hugh Lawler is the answer. They're creating plenty of chances when they go wide. Kilkenny very down at Adrian Mullen, pulling the strings along with Donnelly. What a catch by Donnelly.
Brilliantly done once again by Donnelly. He's mastering things there in the middle of the park, and he's getting among the scorers as well now. So that's a total of 5 scorers for Kilkenny in the match so far. And Tipperary have to be thankful that they got that goal after 8 minutes. They're still in there, but they're 5 adrift.
And no free yet from play. There hasn't been a scoreable free in the game since the start. I don't know if there was a free even in the game. It's very open.
Well, just the one when Darragh McCarthy got his card. That was the only one. In the centre of the field right now. That's Willie Connors, robbed, dispossessed. Jordan Malloy takes it back once again. Hits it there as far as John Donnelly. Back into open space here. Now Willie Connors gets onto it, crashes into Cian Kenny. Referee blows his whistle. It's going to be a free for Tipperary. Well, they need to get going. They need to reassess things, because the opening 15 minutes have been dominated and mastered by the Leinster champions in this All-Ireland semi-final.
Yeah, there's a big free now. To bring them back to 4, it's only 15 minutes gone, and you just feel Tipper are getting up to the pace of the game and maybe playing in Croke Park, whereas Kilkenny are showing their experience here, particularly up front.
Owen Connolly going short there as far as Conor Stakelum. Got the last one. Can he land another one here? Another invaluable point there by Conor Stakelum. So 2 for him. So 1-1, or 1-2 rather. That's 5 points to 9, as you say, just 4 between them. And of course, Kilkenny in matches this year have done really well in the first half, but they have been inclined to collapse in the middle of the second half. And we wonder whether that might just manifest itself again today. Mikey Carey downfield, the rain's coming back. Down towards Billy Ryan, he can't collect it. It's Craig Morgan instead, operating across on that flank. Delivered deep in there. Broken down. Sam O'Farrell, collected by Shane Murphy, however. Back out as far as Cian Kenny, wriggles his way forward, gets there, supported by Paddy Deegan. Out here as far as Owen Cody, nicely slipped across towards Cian Kenny. Has a support player coming onto it. If he needs it, he doesn't. Hammers it off the ground, takes it past O'Mara. O'Mara reaches in, catches him, free in to Kilkenny. And TJ Reid goes across to Cian Kenny and says, very well done.
Yeah, Kilkenny think like they thought for a second it might be a goal, and I think he should have just slipped it over the bar. He was running into trouble there, but he won the free, and TJ will tap it over. You know, interestingly, the only 2 points Tip have got is from Conor Stakelum in the middle of the field. Kilkenny, you know, 2 from Malloy, 2 from Billy Ryan, 2 from TJ, 2 from Martin Keoghan, 1 from John Donnelly. Bigger spread of scores, and the wind picking up here with the rain here, starting to gust and making conditions very, very difficult and very slippy underfoot.
2 points for TJ already in this match. This from just 20 metres out. Rain teeming down. No problems for TJ Reid. In 9 previous championship matches against Tipperary, he had scored 3 goals and 43. So, and 3 more onto that. He's doing well. The Cats are doing particularly well so far. 10 points to 1-2 ahead. And from that Tipperary puck out, it's Kilkenny who are onto it, sharper than Tipperary so far. Jordan Malloy way downfield, looking for Adrian Mullen. Instead, it's picked up here by Robert Doyle. The TUS Midwest student flicks it out to the left-hand side, out to another young man, to Sam O'Farrell. Looking to find the range here and get his first point, but he's put it wide instead. 5 wides by Tipperary. They haven't really settled into it so far. They haven't been allowed by a very, very eager and driven Kilkenny team so far.
Yeah, good work there by Robert Doyle. I think the Tip half-forward line, you know, Jake Morris, Andrew Orman, Sam O'Farrell, they've been brilliant all year. They need to get a foothold. The Kilkenny half-back line dominating at the moment.
Once again, it's broken down there. Tip trying to win that, trying to take possession of it in the middle of the field. The hard-working Conor Stakelum won that. Belted away in the end by Owen Connolly, and it's gone up and over the bar. The fullback came forward to win that, to get it. A man who got 4 points against Limerick, 4 against Waterford as well, 3 against Clare, and now gets 1 here today. So it's back to a 4-point difference.
Yeah, brilliant score from Owen Donnelly. What a year or Owen Connolly. He's out at wing back, centre back, and that's an inspirational score. That should drive on Tipperary now.
Shane Murphy, younger brother of the goalkeeper Owen, used to be a goalkeeper himself, played in the Leinster Championship and won a medal 10 years ago as a minor goalkeeper for Kilkenny. Right now that ball struggling to stay in play, and Kilkenny needlessly over-elaborate, give it away and give the opportunity for Tipperary to seize the initiative. They wanted to take it quickly. Referee is going across. Jake Morris certainly wanted to take it and gain whatever advantage there was. So look at this again.
Jake Morris, Hugh Lauder wouldn't give up the ball. Obviously Jake Morris wanted it back, and I saw the ref, he took out the book, but he put it back in. I suppose you could say that it was gamesmanship from Hugh Lauder, but you know, that's off the pitch by Jake Morris. Anyway, nobody
just a little bit of early frustration, isn't it?
Little frustration. Yeah. Well, there was a loose man inside the first. John McGrath was gone loose there if Jake Morris got to take the quick one, and that's what Liam Cahill is saying there.
Chris Mooney is the line official on this near side. Thomas Walsh from Waterford is the linesman on the far off side.
Yeah, this is one. He'll fancy this, I think, Jared.
He has done it many, many times. 4 sidelines this year scored by Jason Ford. That wasn't his best. Conditions aren't the greatest, and Jake Morris can make the most of the loose ball that came his way and finish it with some aplomb. So now it's 1-4 to Tipperary, 10 points for Kilkenny. Not sure if he meant that, but anyway, it reached Jake Morris, and the Nina Era Oldman gets his first of the day, and the Tipperary fans find their voice.
Yeah, it's been a good spell for Tipperary. You could see the wind there. Look at it on the wind, holding up that ball. It held up the last ball as well. A big factor there now.
That's good play. That's Jake Morris and Andrew Orman trying to win possession back. Richie Reid has it, however, for Kilkenny. That ball snapped up by Ronan Maher. Plays it forward here to Willie Connors, the Killadangan player, all the way into the inside forwards towards John McGrath. Batted back out again, comes out to Mikey Carey. Ungaran gets it away once more, helped out there by Lawler, out as far as John Donnelly, and John Donnelly then looks forward and plays it down there all the way towards Owen Cody, runs beyond him towards Mossy Keown. Keown trying to steal a march on Robert Doyle here, and gets it in, gets the shot on target, puts another one over the bar. He's having a fantastic season, Mossy Keown. 3 points for the day today.
Yeah, and great variety, I think, in Kilkenny's play. You know, they've gone diagonal, they've gone long, they're playing short. The forwards really on song, and yet they're only 4 points up. I think Tip will be happy enough to haven't had that much possession after 20 minutes. They're well in.
Brian O'Mara sending it into the inside forwards once again. Little bit of a misunderstanding here. Here's an opportunity for Darragh McCarthy. McCarthy! Brilliantly done! Darragh McCarthy, the 19-year-old, gets the second goal of the game for Tipperary. It comes after 21 minutes. What a finish this is. Clinical, in beyond Owen Murphy. And now look at the position here. It's a 1-point game.
Well, he did brilliantly. He broke in behind, but Mikey Butler here on the outside closed him down. He got away a great shot. Owen Murphy, brilliant goal. He'd probably be a little bit disappointed. Didn't get enough of the hurl behind it to keep it out, but a great goal by McCarthy. I mentioned before the game, and that's going to give him some boost.
It's his first championship goal, and he scores it at Croke Park. Is that his play? Still it is. And it's Willie Connors who makes sure of it. Back as far as Brian O'Mara. Turning onto his favourite left side, into space. Plenty of Kilkenny players there to win this one if they can. And they can, because it's Mikey Carey who judged it well. Gave it to Richie Reid. Fires it back down towards John Donnelly. Flicks the stick to it. Trying to get past Brian O'Mara. And O'Mara holds on with care, with great diligence. Gets it forward once again as far as Andrew Ormond. Back it comes once again, this time to Michael Breen. Collected here by Owen Connolly. Flicked forward here. Good move in the opening here by Tipperary. Can Jake Morris now finish with a score? Morris coming in. Still Morris. Saved at the line by Owen Murphy. And that ball has gone... has it gone over? It has. It's Jake Morris getting his second point off the goalkeeper's stick. And the teams are level. Second time in the match the sides have been level.
That was some save by Owen Murphy. Tipperary creating goal chance at will. They've scored two. They could have had two more. Brilliant save there by Owen Murphy. Jake Morris has moved inside the corner forward. We saw that during the championship. He's very dangerous. Jason Ford has come out the wing. They needed to switch things around, and by God have they done a brilliant last 6 or 7 minutes for Tip.
Having been out of sorts in the opening 15, it's suddenly all Tipperary, and they're still coming. And here's a chance for John McGrath to add to the goal he got after 8 minutes. A goal and a point by John McGrath in his 44th championship match, and that put Tipperary in front in this All-Ireland semi-final.
Beautiful score by John McGrath. He just drifted out to centre forward there, got away from Richie Reid. Andrew Ormond has gone on the wing, so they've started to rotate their forwards as well. They were a little bit flat in the first 15, but they've got going, and you know, two great goals as well, and game on now, as you'd say yourself, Jar.
2-6 scored by Tipperary, all of them from play, and they're still going. And it's Craig Morgan now, forward by Andrew Ormond, taken forward here by Jake Morris. 2 points for him so far. You can now make that a wide. They were ready to cheer it. It's 6 wides instead. Jake Morris didn't quite make it that time, but they're still ahead by a point. Nearly 24 minutes are gone.
Yeah, but he's thundered into the game, and he's gone back out in the wing now. This is confusing the Kilkenny defenders. Tipper switching around. They're back now with Andrew Ormond at centre forward. They've gone to Hawkeye, so I'd say it is over.
Well, let's see. No, I don't think so. No, it's got to get a kneel.
Yeah. Sorry, normally when they call the Hawkeye in when it's waved wide, it's normally over, but just
it was a close run thing.
Yeah, just making sure, which is the right thing to do when you have the technology.
Absolutely. Once again, Owen Murphy taking this, beaten twice already. And now it's Tipperary digging deep now, making sure that they win everything in the middle of the field that they can. Willie Connors spinning around it, then driving it back into the inside forward line, that very, very dangerous inside forward line. 2 of them have already got goals. They're looking for more. This might be another one. This is confusion at the back, and now Jason Ford becomes the 3rd member of the triumvirate to get a goal for Tipperary in this match. Doing so after 25 minutes. Oh, a total mix-up at the back by Kilkenny.
But what a pass by Darren McCarthy. Look at the improvisation, look at the flick over the goalie. That's Owen Murphy you're talking about there, one of the all-time greats. That's a brilliant finish by Jason Ford. And Tipperary, after, as I said a minute ago, from a slow start, they've absolutely taken over this game.
They're suddenly 4 up from being 4 behind. At the other end, it's Owen Cody. Referee's whistle sounds, however. It's going to be a Kilkenny free this time in the middle of the field. 25 minutes are gone. What a weekend for goals, Michael.
Unbelievable. And you know, you looked at the start of the game there, the first 6-7 minutes, Tipper struggling all over the field, but you have to give credit. They've scored 3, and it's not an exaggeration to say they could have 2 more.
And as I mentioned earlier, every one of those 3-6 that they've got so far, Michael, all of them from open play. TJ Reid has scored 1 of his points from a free. Otherwise, everything's been all from play, I think.
But Jerry, is that a factor in them scoring 3-6? Like, Kilkenny are not cynical, they're not fouling. I'm not saying they should be, but they haven't laid a hand on Tipperary going through, and they could have, as I say, had 5 goals.
Well, this to claw back at least 1 from that 4-point deficit. 65 metres out. TJ Reid taking it straight as you could wish, never deviated. That is a 4th point by TJ Reid, so 2nd one to come from a free for him. Back to a 3-point difference. Shelley once again able to go short, and Kilkenny allowing that to happen time and again. And then it's driven a mile all the way back down there, all the way to the opposing goalkeeper. Appeals by Tipperary as Darragh McCarthy ended on the ground that he should get a free for that. Referee not interested. But they're still going forward, and it's Owen Connolly. Connolly striking again. He's always lurking with intent about 40 metres out, usually with devastating effects. And that's a second point scored by Owen Connolly, the Cashel King Cormac's man.
Yeah, he was following up the field. Adrian Mullen fumbled the ball. You mentioned the puck-outs. I'm amazed Kilkenny are giving away the short ones and allowing Tipperary to go so long then with the second ball right into the full forward line.
That's got into the full forward line this time, but Mossy Cohn couldn't take it. It's Robert Doyle. Little flick inside here to support player. Flicked away into the middle as far as Andrew Ormond. Struggles, or tries to shrug aside the challenge there. He was fouled in any case. So it's going to be a free for Tipperary from deep inside their own half of the field. Having enjoyed a very good spell in this middle part of the second half of the first half of this game. Free to be taken by Owen Connolly. Connolly, who was an under-20 All-Ireland winner under Liam Cahill in the past. Worry and concern for Derek Ling, as a player he's played against Tip on 4 occasions in the championship.
Andrew Ormond just been escorted off the field, a blood injury, so
temporary sub.
We've seen Owen Connolly score from this distance. He is having some season, and the 2 points from play, he's going to be full of confidence. Can he do it again? I
think the light breeze that is there right now is behind him from his own 45-metre line. Up it goes and drops into the goalkeeper's hands. Owen Murphy able to get that ball away quickly. Back downfield again. Kilkenny now looking to try and dominate the remaining 7 minutes of this opening half. Looking to try and get possession there was Cian Kenny, working hard, getting away from 2 or 3 Tipperary players. Played back, and that's near the sideline. It's out over the sideline. The challenge there came in. There's Billy Drennan, not brother Billy, that's Alan Tynan, who came in there a little while ago as a temporary sub for Andrew Ormond.
Yeah, what a block down. Alan Tynan, love a battle. No better man in the middle of a battle like that. He'd be delighted to get a run out here. He's been lost his place to Conor Stapleton and to Peter McGarry over the last couple of months.
That was a poor sideline ball by Kilkenny, given away there to Brian O'Mara. Now up as far as Jake Morris. Oof, on his hands and knees there. Eventually getting possession was Owen Connolly, and has got a couple of points already. That's a pretty careless flick of the ball that time back, but they managed to retain possession. Ronan Maher back upfield, a couple of players on the ground. Jason Ford was one of them initially, and the referee's given the foul against Jason Ford. We're dragging down his man, who was Paddy Deegan. Free's been taken very quickly. Nicely down here. An opportunity for Kilkenny maybe to chip another one off the lead. And that one's gone nicely over the bar. It's been scored by Owen Cody, his first of the day. So back to 13 points to 3-7, 16 points to 13. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Collected back there by Shane Murphy. The cornerback gets away from 2 Tipperary players. Mossy Cohn then getting the ball forward, not with any great deal of accuracy, however. Brian O'Mara able to collect it, trying to go short there to John McGrath. Ran loose instead. Willie Connors tried to get possession, and in the end it's Mossy Cohn advancing. Here's Owen Cody. Is there a goal chance here for him? Surrounded. Got the shot away, but off a defender. It's gone for a 65. Very hard work there on the part of Owen Cody, but there were so many defenders in front of him.
Yeah, but Kilkenny, I think, will be happy enough the last few minutes to settle things down. Look at the amount of Tipperary men that got back. And Cody was still a goal on his mind, but well blocked out. Andrew Ormond back on.
Yep. 65 coming up, and that'll be TJ Reid work once again, playing in his 16th All-Ireland semi-final. I'm sure we will see Alan Tynan again at some stage or other during the course of the full 70 minutes. Of course, when they last played, it was in the league in March, and that was very, very tempestuous and dramatic. It ended 12 players against 14, you may remember.
I do.
Kilkenny had 3 sent off that day. Tipperary had 1, and it was the same Alan Tynan. And that one's gone from the 65 of TJ Reid up and over. So now just 2 between them. 4 minutes to go to half-time. Puck out wasn't the greatest, but might just work out yet for Tipperary. Conor Stakelum working hard in the middle of the field, anticipating. Not a good hand pass there from Willie Connors, but it worked out. Ronan Maher managed to get to it. Forward it goes once again to a recovered Andrew Ormond, and then from there it's gone up and it's gone over the bar. Once again it is Conor Stakelum. He was punching in the air with delight. The minute he left his stick, he was confident it was going up and over the crossbar, and so it was. 3 between them once more.
Yeah, litany of errors there in the build-up, but that's just that man. When, you know, they needed scores early, he got the first 2, and then another point. What a game he's having in the middle of the field.
Owen Murphy. And the Kilkenny goalkeeper drives it down into space there, but covering that space was Brian O'Mara. Read it well, anticipated. And then flicking it quickly back towards John McGrath once again. Being marked there by Hugh Lawler. Out to Richie Reid. Gathered in here by Paddy Deegan, looked up and then decided, let's go very, very long, down towards TJ Reid, and he was being held and pulled back that time, and the man who was doing the marking was Ronan Maher. He concedes the free. It'll be a free in once again to Kilkenny, and this should make it a 2-point game once more.
Yeah, the free wasn't there. Obviously, we can just see the catch. The referee deemed before that, when the ball was in the air, that, you know, I thought the two of them were grappling, to be fair. The referee saw a tug and an easy free for TJ Reid, and this will be his 3rd free. He scored a 65. He's 2 from play. You know, just slowly but surely Kilkenny edging their way back into it.
This should be his 6th of the game. He got 13 the last time they met, which was in the league. By far and away their top scorer that day. They needed him just to keep in touch. No problems whatsoever. So a variety of scores, different angles, all hit with that familiar confidence and great style. So close to the break now at this stage. Once again it's Rhys Shelley, and this time he might, well, he's still going to go short, and able to do so because Owen Connolly is there to collect it, and they work it forward with Craig Morgan back as far as Connolly again, and Kilkenny are unable to put in a challenge. And Tiff work it all the way into the Kilkenny half of the field with Connolly involved from the word go, and a white flag at the end of it. Same man who started it all there from the short puck out, 1 or 2 passes and a great delivery, brilliantly done. 3 for the day by Connolly.
Well, Jared, that's the score of the game for me. They made it look easy, but that was not easy. Confidence in themselves, beautiful stick work and interplay between a number of the players, and Connolly's confidence is just at an all-time high.
Whipped away once again by Connolly, up into the inside forwards. Jake Morris has it, about 40 metres out. That's another one, a 3rd by Jake Morris. 4 points the margin once again. Good response.
Yeah, and Kilkenny now, the Paddy Deegan back corner back, Shane Murphy's out in the wing. You know, the movement and constant interchange of Tipperary has had them in all sorts of trouble in the last 15 minutes.
There's Hugh Lawler. Down into the inside forwards it comes once again, this time to Mossy Keown. Kilkenny would love a goal at this stage. Shane Murphy dropping it in there. TJ Reid's hanging around trying to keep it in play, but it beats them all, and that's a 5th wide by Kilkenny.
You know, Mossy Keown picked that, sorry, Ger, and you know, he looked for support. There was no one there. Throwing it back to a cornerback. Okay, he's out in the wing, not ideal, and you know, poor wide. Really should have just kept that in play. TJ was inside in his own.
Shelley's delivery is a huge one, all the way to the opposing 13-metre line, to John McGrath, who cradles it into his hand, tries to get a shot away. That's a 2nd point by John McGrath to go with the goal he got after 8 minutes. It's a great finish to the first half here by Tipperary.
Yeah, John McGrath has done a great. Hugh Lawler we're talking about before the game, the year he's having, but John McGrath's having some years as well. That's 1-2. I can't get over the fact that Kilkenny are giving up those puckouts, allowing the 1-2, and it's adding 20-30 yards on, and their full backline under all sorts of pressure.
Well, maybe that will change when they have a chat at half-time. Right now a race for possession here. Kilkenny getting it. Kilkenny with Mossy Keown. In the end it's Cody who takes it in there as far as Billy Ryan. Might break across here towards TJ Reid. The referee has blown his whistle. There was an advantage. The referee decided nothing was happening, so he's going to give the free in. It'll make it a 4-point game. That was Owen Cody there playing it inside to Ryan. There was the foul the referee, I think, has decided, and that's where he was giving a little bit of an advantage, but it wasn't producing anything. So it will produce a score in the end for TJ Reid approaching half-time. We're into that first minute and only minute of added time at the end of a first half. where Kilkenny were the better side for the first 15 minutes and dominated proceedings, even though John McGrath did get a goal for Tip in the middle of all of that. So 7 points for TJ Reid. Is that to be the end of the scoring for the first half? The referee blows his whistle. It is. It was an interesting first half, and certainly Derek Ling and company will be pleased with the first part of that, but then Tipperary came back strongly. A goal by John McGrath. There was another by Darragh McCarthy. There was another by Jason Ford. And all of Tipperary's scores in the first half have come from open play. There's lots to be discussed by our panel and by the managers when they have the teams into the dressing rooms. At the break, in the second of the All-Ireland hurling semi-finals, it's Kilkenny 16 points, Tipperary 3 goals and 11. We're back with Joanne and her panel right after this.
Ayr, proud sponsors of the GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship.
You're about to enter a world of backstabbing and treachery. Players will be secretly selected to be the traitors.
Your job to murder the faithful.
Faithful goodies, traitors, bloodthirsty baddies. Exciting, isn't it?
Welcome to the traitors.
I'm not a traitor, I swear on everything.
The Traitors UK, US and Australia.
I mean, why stop being theatrical now?
Streaming now on RTE Player.
Amazon Prime Day is from the 8th to the 11th of July. 4 days of big deals on electronics, home, kitchen and more. That'll make you feel like a big deal. Amazon Prime Day is from the 8th to the 11th of July. Prime membership required. Join Prime now on amazon.ie.
Right. Match Saturday. Recovery Sunday. Gym Monday.
Johnny B. Lee? What are you doing in my bath? Saving a few bob in the energy. You know yourself, man. Just switch to Board Gosh Energy. That'll save you a few quid. I'll keep that in mind.
Save up to €822 on dual fuel with the Smart Weekend plan for Board Gosh Energy. Have you room for one more, lads?
Centra has all the fresh food you need to chase it! Chase it, Finton! Sorry, right. So if you're absolutely weak with the hunger, eat him, Michael! Eat him! Where was I? Centra's delicious egg muffins. They're, tasty hurling.
Where there's hurling, there's Centra.
Here's a pad that's a game changer for the heavy flowers, the butt checkers, and the wedgie pickers. A pad made like no other that absorbs like no other. Up to 0 leaks with its super absorbent holes that pull blood in. Up to 0 bunching because it flexes to fit you. Up to 0 feeling because it's made of smart foam. A game changer. Always Flex Protect. It's a new period.
Got Big McDonald's hunger? The new Big Arch is here.
Hey, Damson. Have a good drive today.
Have fun driving, Damson.
Fastest stop in sports, 3 letters. Wow.
Ah!
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. Physically fit, physically fit, physically. Come on. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Redclick Home Insurance includes emergency home repair with a dedicated 24-hour helpline. You're covered for up to 4 call-outs a year without affecting your no-claims bonus. It's a helping hand you can count on. Redclick. Home insurance that just clicks.
It's all heating up now.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Semi-final weekend of 2025. It's rather goal heavy, isn't it? Well, this second semi-final, all those goals have gone one way, the way of Tip, and yet their opponents seem to be happy to just pick off points so far, and that is what has kept Kilkenny very much so in the game. It is Tip, though, who are leading 3-11, what a half-time score, to 16 points for Kilkenny. What else is interesting is that every single one of Tip's scores have come from play. Jackie, it's very, very obvious from the word go what Tipperary are trying to do. You said before the game what Tip would try to do is drag Hugh Lawler out of that full-back position and that Kilkenny can't let them do it.
Yeah, Hugh wants to be on the edge of the square and ball pumped in there because he's so good in the air and he's so good facing the ball. But Tip really smartly have dragged them all over the place, and then they've put the ball inside to Darren McCarthy and to Jason Ford, and Hugh is over, and the defensive structure's all over the place. And we just see in this example, ball into the square, Hugh actually ends up falling out and going out after the break. That's not what Kilkenny want. He's great at facing the ball in the square and defending from the front, and this just breaks through, and it's a fabulous, fabulous finish. But unfortunately for Kilkenny, it took them 26 minutes to cop on what they're doing, and at this stage Tip had 3 goals rattled in. Now that's John McGrath. That's an unbelievable finish. Once again, that ball in, keep an eye on the back at the bottom of the screen. Look at Hugh Lawler scrambling to get back. He should be in the square where Paddy Deegan is facing that, because he's brilliant in those one-on-one scenarios. But once again, trying to get back and scrambling, and a brilliant finish again. Tip are deadly when they get in those positions. And once again, the third goal, Hugh on the edge of the D again. Tip are winning these balls. Shane Murphy is at 6s and 7s, and he gets in, and a delicate finish over the top. And as I said, look, the damage has been done at that stage. Tip have 3-11 in, and it took them a while to settle down. When they settled down and started getting ball across their half-back line and pumping it into the full forward line, they've been really, really
How brilliant
good.
is that, though?
Oh, it's fabulous and outstanding. And what John McGrath and Jason Ford mightn't have the best of legs, but their skill set and their finishing is top drawer.
They're unashamedly just hunting down those goals, aren't they?
They are hunting down those goals, and it's been a feature of this team all year, Joanne. They got 4 goals in the first half against Clare in the Munster Championship, and every time, if they smell it, it's on, they're going for it, and it's a great sign of the team and a well-coached team. Andrew Ormond, a little bit of inexperience there. You can see John McGrath having a moment with him there to say, Andrew, I was over on the edge of the square. You know, probably had to give it across. It was a certain goal, but again, there was an intent about it. You know, for a team that only had 1 goal after 13 minutes to have 2-11 on the board here is unbelievable. And again, Darren McCarthy, I think he's hurling really smart there as well, Joanne. He's standing off at times, catching ball, offloading ball. He's the most unselfish forward in that Tipperary team. He'll always make the right decision with the ball. But again, you know, they wanted to go for goals. And, you know, most players will say, OK, I'll tip the handy point here. But Jake, again, he only has one thing in his mind. He's finished with 3 points already today. Again, 5 points the last day, 3 points in the first half today. But he was testing Owen Murphy to say, OK, great shot off the ground on a day like today with showers, and again brought a great save. So massive intent from Tipperary, especially in the last 25 minutes, and all they want is goals.
3-11 from play. It's unbelievable. Yet Kilkenny, as Kilkenny do, they're hanging in there. Now, you highlighted the movement of the Tip half-forward line before the match, and yet you're impressed by the movement of a Kilkenny half-forward.
Yeah, John Donnelly has been at the centre of all things good from a Kilkenny perspective. In the opening 20 minutes, we see him here off camera. He's just, you know, on his own. Tipper not picking him up. You know, Craig Morgan started on him, but he's the intelligence to know where to move into the right position at the right time. And Tip would be disappointed with the amount of space they've given him. And he's also been a huge target on the, you know, Kilkenny puck out. He's so intelligent, and his vision here for the point for Jordan Malloy was a brilliant score. He's also so strong in the air, very hard to stop. And, you know, that's what Kilkenny needed in that opening period. They had a couple of bad wides, but, you know, his ball-winning ability has really stood out. And again, look, he's on his own half-back line, has all the time and space in the world, delivers the ball inside to the danger area, and Kilkenny get another score. Now, Tip have now moved Brian O'Mara on him. He's not getting the same space and time. that's worked really well for Tipperary, and they've started to get on top in that kind of middle third area.
Yeah, because I definitely feel Tipperary tactically be much better. Like they did suffer in that first 13 minutes, but I think they were finding their bearings on this pitch. But since they've made those changes, I think they now have. I think they're owning the structure of the game, and the game has been played on Tipperary's terms, and that's hard to break. But certainly in that last 20 minutes, Liam Cahill and his management team, I think they've done very well to spot, make the changes, and get good ball in.
And did you know, that's a good segue, because just behind us being interviewed is a man who wrote a poem called The Hurley Maker, with music by Brian Hughes, who's a retired firefighter, with Ger Devine, who is a current firefighter. There is so much firefighting going on this afternoon, and still more to come in this second half.
Lash of the ash. Not as fun when you're on the other side of the hurley, let me tell you.
Where there's hurling, there's Centra.
We are ready to go.
Oh, what a goal! Absolutely extraordinary! And that was incredible. Listen to the roar!
Amazon Prime Day is from the 8th to the 11th of July. 4 days of big deals on electronics, home, kitchen and more that'll make you feel like a big deal. Amazon Prime Day is from the 8th to the 11th of July. Prime membership required. Join Prime now on Amazon.ie.
Harvey Norman, your home of the big screen, with cashback deals on selected LG TVs. Elevate your viewing experience with the new LG C5 OLED Evo for €2,199 and get €150 cashback. Upgrade to 65-inch for €3,099 and get €400 cashback. Or go supersize with the 77-inch for €4,289 and get €500 cashback. And with our best price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? Harvey Norman, your home of the big screen.
You're generous with your time and you're always thinking of other people. And I think that's one of the attributes that made you into the person you are today and a great nurse. One of the concerns we had when you told us about your diagnosis was, is HIV transmissible and could you pass it on to, say, if you're having a family?
I just think it's so important for people to know that once you're on effective HIV treatment, you cannot pass on the virus to anyone.
Learning about HIV starts with you and me. Visit hse.ie/HIV to learn more.
You might think you know Ireland's hidden heartlands, but maybe it's time for a closer look to chart your own course through sparkling still waters, where adventure waits amongst the treetops, and on foot over ancient trails, to chance upon charming towns and drift with the flow of this land. Keep discovering Ireland's hidden heartlands.
Red light. Green light. Red light.
The next game is served.
Right. Match Saturday. Recovery Sunday. Gym Monday.
Johnny B. Lee. What are you doing in my bath? Saving a few bob in the energy. You know yourself, man. Just switch to Board Gosh Energy. That'll save you a few quid. I'll keep that in mind.
Save up to €822 on dual fuel with the Smart Weekend plan for Board Gosh Energy. Have you room for one more, lads?
Centra has all the fresh food you need to chase it! Chase it, Finton! Sorry, right. So if you're absolutely weak with the hunger, eat him, Michael! Eat him! Where was I? Centra's delicious egg muffins. They're, tasty hurling.
Where there's hurling, there's Centra.
You're looking good, you're looking sharp.
True quality goes beyond the design you see, and the smoothness you feel. It's the fresh blade feeling that lasts time after time after time. Gillette Labs, our best ever razor, with up to 30 smooth shaves per cartridge that lasts up to 50% longer than the most sold 5-bladed razor. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Ayr, proud sponsors of the GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship.
It looks like conceding puckouts is not working out in Kilkenny's favour, because Tip scored 2-4 from puckouts won there in that opening half. Also, we did see David Blanchfield warming up just before halftime. In fact, he was getting ready to come on. He will come on in this second half for Shane Murphy. Now, we talked about the goals that Tipperary we were going from, but who came in late to the team, and Owen Connolly once again has proven that not only does he do it in defence, but he's able to add so much to the attack as well.
Yeah, and particularly in that purple patch at the start when Kilkenny were totally dominant, Conor Stakeland's points in that were crucial, because they just kept Tip in touch, and he was just so accurate. But it's one of the parts of a deep, when your half forward line go back into your own half looking for the ball, like John Donnelly and Adrian Mullen, is you invite lads like Owen Connolly, who's very comfortable in these surroundings, that if he does pick up a ball, that he can score, and he gets a beautiful score. We'll see it at the end. But Conor Stakeland, he was just picking up these lovely soft spots in the middle of the field. This is a great score, give and go, and you can see that he's a natural outfield player, because they're three monsters of points, and it lifted the whole Tip setup, and these were off the back of goals that just gave them a huge shot in the arm in terms of momentum.
And I think credit to Liam Cahill again, because, you know, bringing on Conor Stakeland and starting him was the big call. And early on in the first 10 minutes, the midfield were really under pressure. But Willie Connors and Conor Stakeland, I think, have owned it the last 20 minutes and given Tip a platform to build on in the middle of the park.
Well, we're struggling here at the moment because there's over 60,000 here, 60,773 out for this second half. So despite Tip getting it all right and Liam Cahill getting his things in order, only 4 points in it now. Now, we do know we've got the likes of Noah McGrath to come on in the second half as well. Are teams likely to change how they're approaching this in the second half? Do they need to?
I think Tip are going to continue that ruthlessness in front of goals. I think they can sense that there's more opportunities there for goal. They're playing with confidence now. But Kilkenny, you know, being Kilkenny, they'll never give up the fight.
Oh, that is for sure. We're looking forward to this second half. Michael and Ger.
Thank you, Joanne. So it's Tipperary by 4 points. Start of the second half. David Blanchfield is on for Kilkenny. Player going off, Shane Murphy. That change, I think, results in Paddy Deegan going back into the full back line, and Blanchfield will come out to play right half back. First attack then down towards TJ Reid, trying to get something going here. Looking for a really good start to the second half, looking to get past Ronan Maher. Going forwards, showing great strength and resolution. Hold down in the end, no question or doubt about it. And in just a moment, this will be a 3-point game.
Yeah, great leadership there from TJ. He looked for that ball. Richie didn't play a great ball into him, but he took on Tipperary, won the free. And we've seen this so many times over the years. Kilkenny come out after half-time, they start really, really well. And, you know, Tip will be well aware of that. So they'll be looking to cut out that. But this is going to narrow it to 3 points now.
7 points, his score from the opening 35-36 minutes. In that first half, we have 30 scores in 36 minutes of play.
Yeah, David Blanchfield had a huge player last year. He obviously lost form, bit of discipline. He was sent off a couple of times during the league. Maybe that affected not being picked, but he's going to be fired up now, getting in there for his start.
So an eighth of the day for TJ Reid, back to a 3-point difference. In fact, Blanchfield was one of the 3 Kilkenny players sent off against Tipperary down in Nolan Park in March in that league game, and I think it unsettled him completely. But now he's back in there to show what he can do. They need him. They need a good second half performance. But right now it is Conor Stakeland for Tipperary trying to get that ball forward. One back in the end by Billy Ryan here. Billy Ryan 2 points from the first half. Still trying to get out of there, but surrounded, and he held on too long as a result of that great pressure being exerted by the Tipperary players. So a free for Tip, and it'll give an opportunity then for Darragh McCarthy to show what he can do as a free taker. He wasn't called upon to take any of the frees because they didn't have any close by in the first half, but here he is now, first opportunity. 3-11, all from open play in the opening 36 minutes of the game. Darragh McCarthy got a goal after 21 minutes, one of the 3 goals for Tipperary. And that off his left-hand side as per usual, and the usual result as well. So a goal and a point by Darragh McCarthy.
Yeah, good free. He's out on the wing now, half forward. Just looking at the work rate there of the tip forwards. Jake Morris, beautiful stand up there. He stood up, didn't foul, didn't give away the free. John McGrath involved as well, forcing the turnover, and a great score from Darren McCarthy's first free of the game.
It was Kilkenny's turn to replicate what Tipperary did in the first half. Went short and now get it all the way down the field, down there towards Cody. Owen Cody trying to get the better of Robert Doyle, make an angle for himself. That's a good score. Point in each half, scored by Owen Cody.
Yeah, lovely ball into space. We know how strong he is, how fast he is, and you know, sometimes he looks for goals all the time, but he's right there, tapped it over.
So 3 points shared by the teams. Start of this second half. Tipperary flicked this one out as far as Brian O'Mara takes control of it, moves it down through the centre, and that's Stakelum going for it there. It's Andrew Ormond who came in after that. Willie Connors also trying to win possession, but battling for it hard is John Donnelly. Flicks it back there as far as Jordan Malloy, and that one drops in, and that's gone over the bar. Jordan Malloy has now got 3 in this game. He wasn't the more prolific of the two midfielders during the course of the season, but my goodness, he's done extremely well in this game.
He hasn't. We talked about the tip work that we saw Kilkenny there. Cian Kenny involved again, just got a little touch with his foot onto the ball, created a space, and Malloy's, here he is with a great catch again. What a game he's having.
Yeah, fabulous midfield performance so far, but then just ran into trouble. Tipperary trying to win it back here, working exceedingly hard, just waiting for that ball to pop out. Stakelum there towards the end of it. Real pile up on the referee, James Owens from Wexford, just allowing it to develop to see what's going to happen. And what happens is that Cian Kenny managed to get it in the end, and passing it as far as Paddy Deegan, and Deegan away into his forwards once again, in there towards Owen Cody, got in behind Robert Doyle. He's causing problems for the young man, and the referee has blown his whistle way back in the middle of the field as that was hit by Owen Cody. Not going to count because the referee had the whistle blown, and it indicated a much earlier free down around the 50-metre mark, from 50 metres from the Kilkenny goal.
I don't know what happened there, John. I was following the ball. I didn't realise the whistle was gone.
Well, it obviously was, and it's going to be a free instead for Tipperary rather than a goal for Owen Cody up at the other end. So a second opportunity for Darren McCarthy, the Toomey Vara man. His manager Liam Cahill looking on. And the man from Toomey Vara with a goal and a point so far. Once again takes extreme care over this. He's done extremely well this year, blessed with wonderful ability, as we all know. Got 12 points from these teams met in the league, but he's put that one wide after the build-up. The pressure, maybe, he's feeling it.
I didn't hear the whistle, and I probably should add, I don't know what the free was for. I didn't see a foul in that passage of play, but missed it anyway.
Anyway, 2 points the margin at this stage. Kilkenny battling to try and win possession, but not Conor Stakelum out his way, and Conor Stakelum won that one. So gritty determination, wasn't going to be beaten by anybody. Coming in today to play in his 15th championship match. Free to be taken by the fullback Owen Connolly. 3 marvellous points from open play, huge points in the first half from long distances out. Well, right now he's just outside his own 45-metre line, so about 50 metres from his own end line. Travelling well, moving towards Hill 16, but away to the left-hand side. And that's a second wide of the second half by Tipperary. That and the previous free hit by Darragh McCarthy.
Yeah, so just keeping Kilkenny in it, Jerry. You know, they had a nice little lead, but a bit like the first half, slow start to the second half. Will it catch fire?
It certainly will, I'm sure. That's taken brilliantly there by Craig Morgan, out to Jake Morris. Down there towards McCarthy, got a little touch to it. Sam O'Farrell, haven't seen an awful lot of him in this game. John McGraw, remember that wonderful goal. Here he goes again, trying to make an angle, under pressure. He mishits that one by some distance. That's a 9th wide by Tipperary. Still ahead by now, just 2 points. Out to John Donnelly. Swings right into the air there towards TJ Reid. Waiting for the break to come his way was Brian O'Mara. Delivering it back downfield again. Marvellously taken that time by Andrew Ormond, the J.K. Bracken's man. On as far as Conor Stakelum. Raiding, trying to get past Hugh Lawler. Hand pass goes back, goes astray. Trying to win it there is Mikey Butler, and the tenacious cornerback digging in, trying to get there, but he's been beaten for this time by Andrew Ormond. Ormond has the shot in. They're thinking about it, the two umpires. A degree of uncertainty, so they're going to go to the technology just to unravel that one and see whether or not it was a score by Andrew Ormond.
I think it was wide, a good bit wide actually. If Mikey Butler is, I was just going to mention, I've hardly seen him in the game, and he's normally so good on the ball.
You're quite right, Michael. It was by some distance.
Mikey Butler has been, you know, the standout man marker for Kilkenny for so long, but he just seems to be struggling a little bit today.
So that's another miss by Tipperary, and now it's Kilkenny unable to apply the pressure on Brian O'Mara. It deep in his own half of the field. Downfield it goes towards Jason Ford. Doesn't get to it. John Donnelly has it into the centre here as far as Adrian Mullen. They'll be looking for an awful lot more from the likes of Adrian Mullen during this second half if Kilkenny are to snatch victory here. Nicely down once again towards McCarthy. Tipperary applying the pressure. Deegan. McCarthy has lost his stick, gives it off there, this time to Sam O'Farrell, and the under-20 captain completes the move that time, gets his first point of the match, and now makes it 13 to 19 points. Tip up by 3.
Yeah, that started with a bad touch by Adrian Mullen. You mentioned him, he's been very quiet. Couple of balls he's fumbled. Great work there between the 220 players, Darren McCarthy and Sam O'Farrell. Sam O'Farrell is some fine for them moving up to wing forward, wing back in the under 22.
Here's Hugh Lawler. What Owen Connolly can do at one end, Hugh Lawler hoping to do at the other. This time it breaks away towards John Donnelly. Kilkenny need the next score, you feel. Infield it goes towards Mossy Cone. Back out as far as Adrian Mullen. Measuring this one. Perfectly delivered. Nicely over the crossbar. His first point of the day.
Yeah, we mentioned him a second ago. He needed that. That's a lovely score. He had very little time to swing it over. And great finish.
Nearly 10 minutes gone in the second half. A 2-point game, and here's a change coming up, and it'll be Stephen Donnelly coming in, and he's a cousin, of course, of John. He's had a very, very good first season at championship level. We'll see him coming on in a little while. Owen Connolly, meanwhile, helped out here by Michael Breen. Across it goes once again towards Conor Stapleholm. The challenge came from behind, not anticipating it that time. The challenge was by Billy Ryan. Down went Conor Stapleholm. Free to Tipperary.
Just missed the shoulder. He came in, he was arguing shoulder to shoulder, just caught him on the side of the head. I'm still surprised with Kilkenny. They're giving up that short puck out. You know, that was Mikey Breen. He's a huge athlete. He was able to take on his man, create the overlap, ended up winning the free, push up another yard, make the right Rhys Shelley go long. If I was the Kilkenny bench or manager, that's what I'd be saying.
Well, in such a tight match as this, with just 2 between them, every scoring opportunity is vital. This is a very difficult free. It's from where the ball is thrown in at the start of the match or start of each half. Darragh McCarthy, breeze blowing from left to right. Can he get it? Can he make it? He does. A goal and 2 scored by Darragh McCarthy. Now we've got 5 points in the under-20 final.
Yeah, fair play to him. You know, missed the last one. He was involved in the last score for Sam O'Farrell, and then he nailed that free right from the middle of the field.
From the puck out, the stick there of Conor Stapleholm making contact with the ball, but it's now all of a sudden the Cats who are raiding. Adrian Mullen looking to reply to that last score a moment ago by Tipperary, and now he's got a second. So little to choose once again between them. 2 between them this time. Mikey Butler set it up for Adrian Mullen. Good completion. From that puck out, was there a push that time? Billy Ryan seems very annoyed anyway.
Yeah, you watch it here, just a little, you know, I think it was 6-1, was it? He gave the first little tug and he got a tug back, and he's arguing that it was 6-1, half a dozen the other. Just in the previous score for Adrian Mullen, he just threw the ball back in the hurl. He could sense that the hook was coming in, took it back in the hurl, slipped it over, and you know, the bit of pressure now mounting on Darragh McCarthy. A couple of frees coming into it, no free in the first half. He scored 2 from 3 in the second half, and he's going to have to nail all of these.
Well, I'm sure Billy Ryan will be very annoyed by the concession of that, because as you say, they were both at it. Depends on what the referee has seen. Darragh McCarthy has put this one away to the right-hand side, and that's now 11 wides by Tipperary. It's an awful lot. 5 in the first half by Kilkenny. Still only 2 points between them, and a place in the All-Ireland final in just 2 weeks' time against Cork. Short puck out as far as Mikey Butler, looking to be more of an influence. Mikey Carey down along that wing over there. Picked up here by Cian Kenny, looks up from his own 65-metre line, ambitiously striking it, and the ambition pays off. First of the day by Cian Kenny from James Stephens, the village, as everyone knows it, from such a deep position. Look at the scoreline now, 1 point the margin.
An outstanding score. And I mentioned before the game, Darren McCarthy, young player taking frees. Jason Ford is there. Will they consider a change?
Well, usually in matches in the championship between these two in Croke Park, there's little or nothing to choose between them. That's been the story over the years, proving to be the way again today as it hots up here, and Sam O'Farrell using his shoulder against an opponent, and the referee brings the ball forward. It's going to be a free in for Kilkenny, and TJ Reid is just waiting for the referee to give him the ball to tie up the match here for what would be the third time. Brian Cody, he's been down there on that sideline in matches between these two counties year after year. His son there alongside him. I think that's his son there on his right-hand side. And TJ Reid, 8 points so far, ready to hit this from just inside the 65-metre line.
I don't think Brian Cody wanted that camera there, Joe.
He's a shy man anyway. The most successful manager of the GAA team ever, Brian Cody. That's beautifully done. It's TJ Reid drawing another white flag. 9th point of the day by TJ Reid. It's 23 points for Kilkenny. It's 3 goals and 14 for Tipperary. As you can see, 23 points apiece. In the second half so far, Kilkenny have got 7 to Tipperary's 3 points. And Tip is making a change now, and Noel McGrath on. Big cheer as Noel McGrath gets set to come in here. Again, it hots up quite considerably. Noel's coming on to play in his 10th All-Ireland semi-final. He's won 6 of them so far. And the player going off is his brother, John, who got that goal after 12 minutes. But clearly, Liam Cahill has decided it's time to freshen things up. Referee busy with his notebook. Owen Connolly and Adrian Mullen, the 2 players, about to get yellow cards. So that is a total of 3 yellow cards so far. There was an earlier one in the first half given to Darragh McCarthy of Tipperary. So we've got 20 minutes to go. The Camogie quarter-final between Tipperary and Kilkenny went to extra time. Let's see how this one pans out over the next 20 minutes or thereabouts. Hugh Lawler coming forward here, avoiding the block of the hook, gets it away quickly, down in there towards Owen Cody, trying to deliver a really strong final 20 minutes to this match. Didn't get the ball running his way that time. Instead it is Ronan Maher who goes back and collects it and is fouled as the rain begins to come down in Croke Park once again.
Yeah, Noel Cody's going to be disappointed with that one. You know, he needed to make that ball stick. Himself and Adrian Mullen have really come into the game in the second half, but that was a bad mistake, and ball up the field then.
Rhys Shelley sends it away down there towards Jason Ford, goal scorer after 25 minutes, hounded there by Paddy Deegan of Kilkenny. Blocked, comes back out again, it comes out as far as Stakelum, that's Conor Stakelum, and then back into the hands of Richie Reid, centre half back for the Cats. Away it goes once again by Paddy Deegan, away downfield towards TJ Reid. Cross to gather it quickly, and reading the intentions there was Michael Breen. Oh, gifted away to Billy Ryan. Not quite sure what he was thinking that time or who he saw in his eye, but he gave it to Billy Ryan, and then the foul is committed, and it's going to be a free in for the Cats once again.
Yeah, strange. He tried to pass it off to Hurl. I don't like that anyway, you know, but he mustn't have seen Billy Ryan. He was away from TJ Reid, could have cleared his lines.
And Craig Morgan in the end hold down Billy Ryan. Free in once again for TJ Reid. Now he's proving to be one of the busiest men on the park right now, looking to add to the 9 points he's already got. Craig Morgan, of course, was a former under-20 All-Ireland winning captain of Tipperary back in 2019 for Liam Cahill against Cork, hoping to make the final. It may happen yet. TJ Reid and Kilkenny hoping that they will be back in the decider. It's 10 years since they won an All-Ireland. TJ Reid once again delivers with unerring accuracy. 10 for the day by the man from Ballyhale Shamrocks. And now Kilkenny are in front. And now it's Alan Tynan who's about to come out here and play. Came on earlier on as a sub, and the player going off is Sam O'Farrell.
Jared Tippeary only 3 points now since half-time. I said it halfway through the first half. They need their half-forward to get back into the game. They'll be completely overshadowed by Kilkenny.
Paddy Deegan that time brought Darragh McCarthy out over the sideline. It had hotted up down there.
He did. He hooshed him out. Say James Owens looking for him. I'd say it's going to be a yellow card. It was a frontal challenge.
There's Alan Tynan just into the action. Tough, strong, aggressive kind of hurler, looking to try and boss things in the middle of the park for Tipperary for the remaining minutes of this game, and there's plenty of hurling left to be played. This is what happened here again.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it's not.
No,
really.
It's not. And Paddy Deegan, I hear him there on the ref mic saying that's my first tackle, my first foul of the game, so he feels aggrieved with that. It wasn't too bad. And at the same time, Jason Ford has changed onto the freeze. I'm not surprised with this. Like we see TJ Reid 7 from 7. Darragh McCarthy has missed a couple. So
Jason Ford, who got 15 points in the match against Cork when they were reduced to 14 players almost from the start of the game when Darragh McCarthy got a red card. So this is his first one. It has to be right, and it is. A goal and a point now scored by Jason Ford from Silvermines. Level again.
Yeah,
so
super free.
Fourth time the teams are level.
Sorry, Jared, the experience of Jason Ford, you know, to step up there over the bar, they needed that. And they need now their half-forward to get into the game.
It made sense to change the free taker that time. And that's Brian O'Mara trying to get it downfield. Collected by Cian Kenny for Kilkenny, however. And the referee saw a foul on him. It was fouled by Andrew Ormond, free to Kilkenny.
And that's a beautiful pick-up, Jared. We'll see it again there. It was just a beautiful first touch, down low over the ball, very quickly into his hand, and he won the free. And in the first half, Conor Stakelum scored 3 from play-off, but he's had a much brighter second half. Himself and Jordan Malloy having a serious battle there in the middle field. Willie Connors obviously not in the game that much, but the two lads have been very, very strong for Kilkenny.
Well, any foul whatsoever anywhere now is going to be punished by TJ Reid quite emphatically, you imagine. This one is a huge distance out. He's well inside his own 65-metre line. There's always a swirling breeze at Croke Park, but he's used to it now at this stage. And we're into the 55th, 56th minute of the game anyway. So he knows the atmospheric conditions. He knows exactly what to do, and he's done it again. 11 points scored by TJ Reid. And Kilkenny go in front by 1. Quarter of an hour remaining in this match. Michael Breen takes that short one. Back down into the inside forwards it comes once again. Looking to try and make it stick this time. Good play by Hugh Lawler initially, trying to link up with Jordan Malloy. Then out comes Jason Ford to take it. Referee again saw something in there, and it's going to be a free for Tipperary. A plea by Jordan Malloy of innocence, but this is what was happening here as he was going back, caught the Tipperary player. That was before Jason Ford had gathered the possession, and the end result is going to be a free in, and presumed Jason Ford will stay on the freeze at this stage. It's a day for Liam Cahill to make those tough calls, tough decisions. He's got a young free taker in Darragh McCarthy. It wasn't quite working out for him, and the more experienced Ford is now in charge of these. And that's the reason why. Straight as you could possibly wish. A second pointed free in the second half by Ford. And now level again. Sub coming on is Darragh Stakelum, brother of Conor. Player going off is Willie Connors. As Michael was mentioning, he wasn't making a major impact. Huge ball downfield once again. Michael Breen trying to get to it. It said it's Mossy Keown sending it in there dangerously. Collected well by Breen once more. Takes it away. Hand passes it out into the centre. There towards the number 21 who's just come on, Noel McGrath. 4 players around the Tipperary man in possession, and it's TJ Reid who has it. Players outside waiting for it. The final shot is by Mossy Keown. It's unerring, it has to be, and Mossy Keown once again gets a point. First of the second half for him, his 4th in all. So it's a 1-point game. Kilkenny in front once more.
Yeah, savage work rate again by Kilkenny. I think there might have been a foul in it though. Pull back. They got away with it. TJ Reid out to Mossy Keoghan. And as you say, 4 from play. The high ball not working that well in. They're playing a lot of high ball in. Tip coming out with them. We have an absorbing battle on our hands here now. Go either way.
Oh, was that a foul there? It was on the goalkeeper, Owen Murphy. He got a tap on the hand that time.
This is Darren McCarthy again. Second slap, he's gone.
The referee's going across to him, showing him a second yellow. And once again, Darren McCarthy gets a red card. Red card at the very beginning of the game against Cork. And now, in the 58th minute, Tipperary find themselves down to 14 players. And they're a point down as well.
Yeah, we'll watch it here. Owen Murphy coming out. Look, it's only a slight little tip to me. But there's no need to do it. That's why, look, it's a slap down. There's no need to do it. It's right onto the hand.
Well, he knows he has to be disciplined.
You're on a yellow, you don't do that. But it's, you know, it's harmless enough, but at the same time, he shouldn't have done it.
It's tough, but that's the rule of the sport.
That's the rules, yeah.
So now Tipperary have to play with 14 players for the remaining 12 minutes of this game because of the red card for that young man there, Darragh McCarthy, only 19 years of age. Paddy Stapleton, meanwhile, takes it out. Kilkenny 1 up. Tip with Noel McGrath trying to get back on terms. Andrew Ormond hasn't scored today. Nicely downfield. Collected well here by Jake Morris. Is this the moment for Morris to get another one? A 4th point of the day by Jake Morris, the 27-year-old from Nina Era Old, and he's levelled up the game again. 6 times the teams have been level. 26 to 3 goals and 17. It's anybody's All-Ireland semi-final.
And Kilkenny be saying, where is the extra man? You know, they'd no cover. Lovely ball by Ormond into Jake Morris. He's gone inside now. His pace will be a huge advantage in there. They're trying to work it out here. I see Owen Murphy. They want to leave TJ. I'd imagine they want to leave Richie Reid loose. He's the man that delivers the long ball. But that high ball not working that well for him. They went short at him to Billy Ryan. He lost possession.
Billy Ryan now is in difficulty with, I think it's an ankle injury. They're giving him a chance to get strapped up here. The physio doing his job. This is what happened maybe here. We can get a glimpse of it. Turned the ankle there when he was challenged by Owen Connolly. Came off second best anyway. He's been patched up. He has to come off for just a moment anyway, but he'll be coming back in just a moment. And an absolutely clearly distraught Darragh McCarthy on the sideline watching on. Richie Reid, that extra player at the back now. Down, intended there for Mossy Keoghan. Can't get to it. Owen Connolly can. The 14 men looking to try and engineer victory. Noel McGrath all the way across. Difficult taking that one up for Jake Morris. They battle hard, and it's Alan Tynan trying to win it. So too, trying to win it in the middle of all of that was David Blanchfield. Jersey pulled. Referee says, play on, lads. They do. Waiting for that one to come out eventually from that rock of players. The referee has a good view of it and see Mikey Carey come out with it. Back it goes as far as Richie Reid, right on the sideline. Richie having a go, trying to replicate what his brother is able to do, but that one's gone away to the left-hand side, and that's just their first wide of the second half, and their 6th in all.
Yeah, and silly wide, and now Ronamar away now. He's brilliant on the ball. That's a bit short.
He is, but he gave it to a pass to a man who was being marked by 3 Kilkenny players. And now Mossy Keoghan has been blocked down well by Noel McGrath. Goes back again, has another go at it. Looking to try and get the next score. Can he make it? Can he what? 5 for Mossy.
Well, it's a great score, but he should have passed it out the first time out to Adrian Mullen. Look at him outside with his hand up. And lucky it went over because Mullen was raging over that and he didn't get the pass, but a great score in the end.
Once again, quite a battle between the neighbours, Kilkenny and Tipperary. Tip now, trying to get the next score if they can. Not if Mikey Carey has his way. Wriggling his way this way and that. Fowles was coming out that time by Ormond. It's going to be a free for the Cats. And Mikey Carey is having a really good season, an outstanding year in the Kilkenny colours once again. Getting that free. Changes coming up for Tipperary in just a moment.
And he is having a huge year, but particularly the last couple of plays. He's after coming up with the ball on the left-hand side of the field, back there on the right-hand side of the field. He's a huge athlete, and TJ Reid coming out an awful long way, even for him here.
Well, he may be 37 years of age, but with 11 points so far, And a couple of the first of those were from open play, I seem to remember. The rest between frees, and there was a 65 there as well. So now here you are, he's very, very deep, and he goes short as far as Blanchfield. Worked into the middle of the field. An opportunity maybe for Cian Kenny. Can he finish it off? He's got a white flag. It's another one. It was cleverly done. It's a second point of the match by Cian Kenny. Just when people thought it was TJ Reid going to take the long-range free, they were more ambitious than that, and they created a situation where they lead by 2. Tipperary sub coming on here, and the number 22 is Oisin O'Donoghue, a very, very talented 19-year-old who played in that wonderful under-20 All-Ireland winning team a little while back.
What a catch by Mikey Carey.
Brilliantly done again by Carey, having an excellent second half. On it goes as far as Billy Ryan. 2 points in the first half by Ryan. Raiding again, but tracking in there was Brian O'Mara. Ready to take it back up again is Owen Cody. Slipped back into the centre. Cian Kenny. And that one comes back down off the stick, and the host that time, and it's taken there by Rhys Shelley. A lead off for Tipperary. Didn't quite work out that time for Cian Kenny. Back into the attack go Tipperary if they can at all. Blanchfield over there to try and win that one back. It's taken by Jake Morris. Challenged there by Paddy Deegan. Ferocious stuff. He's trying to win it here is Andrew Ormond right on the sideline. 3 Kilkenny players who are almost prepared to put their bodies on the line. Ormond's injured, but you could see the ferocious challenges coming in from the Kilkenny players, trying to make sure that Ormond did not get a clear view of goal and couldn't get his shot away, and Kilkenny managed to maintain that 2-point lead they have in the 64th minute.
Oh, chopped down there by Mikey Carey.
It was Carey, I think, who got him in the end. Well, was it Carey, was it Deegan? We'll just have to check on that one again.
I think it was Mikey Carey. Cameras on Paddy Deegan.
Chris Mooney, the linesman over there, Michael, is having a word with the referee, James Owens. Well, is it Deegan, is it Mikey Carey who the referee wants to have a word with at this stage? Yes, it's Mikey Carey. You were right, Michael. He's gone across to talk to him. Now, how does he see that?
I'd say if it's a card, it has to be a red. Is it for striking?
Only depending on what has been said to the referee. He gets a yellow, and he gets lucky. Kilkenny still with 15, Tipperary with 14, and Tipperary very annoyed. Watch it again here. Ooh, and did Deegan manage to catch him as well there?
They're saying he went to block him, and just that's the argument from the referee, that why it's not a red, that he went to block him, he just tripped him.
Well, the free has been taken anyway, and has been put over the bar by Jason Ford. That's a goal and 3 for him. So we're back to a 1-point difference once again. And coming on here for Kilkenny at this stage is their number 23, and that is Stephen Donnelly. We thought he was going to be on earlier. He's on now in place of Adrian Mullen.
Big call taken off Adrian Mullen. You know, he's got a couple of good points in the second half, but sure. Stephen Donnelly, very, very industrious player as well.
Well, here's the extra man, Richie Reid, setting it into the forwards once again, trying to see if they can add to their pleasant position at the present time. Brian O'Mara back as far as Rhys Shelley, and that should favour the extra man, and it is Richie Reid able to read it, come across, gather his wits, and then play it back downfield once again. Intended for Blanchfield, couldn't make it stick, however. In came Noel McGrath to win it, out as far as Andrew Ormond. Tipperary chasing the advantage that Kilkenny are enjoying at present, winning a free as well, 65 metres out from the Kilkenny goal. Can they level the match here?
Well, that's the last 2 scores have come from Kilkenny mistakes. That was a bad ball by Richie Reid to David Blanchfield's feet. The previous one, you remember, Jordan Malloy should have slipped over a very easy point straight in front of the goals. He dropped it short, ended up in the booking over the far side, and Jason scoring the free. And the way he's striking them, it's hard to see him having any difficulty with the distance.
Let's see if it makes it and levels the game for the 7th time. There will be just about 3 minutes of the 70 still remaining at that stage. It's a grandstand finish here. 1-4 for Jason Ford. Teams level 7 times. Can they resolve it in 70 minutes? Puck out for Kilkenny, trying to make their numerical advantage count for something. Brian O'Mara back downfield again, straight to the man that he shouldn't have given it to, Richie Reid, and then intercepting it very well that time. Tipperary have it back here, an opportunity to hold on to it. Oisin O'Donoghue causing problems. Back it comes once again from Ford, from play. The usual result when Jason Ford gets an opening, and now he's got a goal at 5, and he's put the 14 men of Tipperary into a 1-point lead in a wonderfully exciting All-Ireland semi-final.
What a score from the sideline from Jason Ford. What a second half he's had.
Kilkenny look to respond instantly if they can. Tipperary trying to deny them the primary possession they need so badly. Robert Doyle on his hands and knees trying to get it out. In there in the middle of all of that, trying to win it, is Cian Kenny, the Kilkenny midfield player. Lets the ball out with his hand. Out it goes as far as Mossy Cole. Looks at what he produced, and what he produced is a 6-point of the game. Another equalising score.
And what a game he's had. You know, the 3 previous scores Tipperary got came from Kilkenny mistakes. They went long there, didn't take any chance. Richie Reid intercepted earlier there from a hand pass back. He tried to give a hand pass back, was intercepted by Oisin O'Donoghue. And Kilkenny, the extra man, is causing them more problems than they would have expected. We saw it here with Dublin and Limerick as well.
Cian Kenny in difficulty with an injury. Play continues. Tipperary looking to try and get the lead once again down towards Oisin O'Donoghue. Taken here by Richie Reid instead. Flicked it to his left-hand side as far as Paddy Deegan. Intercepting, however, and winning that one back with great determination is Alan Tynan. Ball forward intended there for Noel McGrath, doesn't get to him, comes back out again once more. Picked up here by Jake Morris, can't hold on to it. Here's an opportunity. Oisin O'Donoghue swings the stick. Oh, what a goal! Oisin O'Donoghue has got a goal for Tipperary in the 70th minute. What a conclusion to this match. What a goal. His first ever champion, or is it his second championship goal? What a goal that was. Fabulous.
An unbelievable finish. This is what this man does. The referee had the advantage given, but up into the top corner of the net, and Kilkenny will be kicking themselves. Again, Paddy Deegan caught in possession. The ball should have been delivered, and Tipperary have battled unbelievably since the man was sent off. And they've really taken the game to Kilkenny, and that's a super goal.
Killian Doyle is on for the Cats. Cian Kenny injured, is off. They need a goal now just to level the game. Alan Tynan has it for Tipperary, and the 14 men once again go looking for the next score. Paddy Deegan trying to cut that one out. Andrew Ormond down there over the ball almost. We're heading towards stoppage time. It would be interesting to see how much is left in that as Noel McGrath tries to get another amazing score from an amazing career, but he's put it wide this time, and that is a 12th wide. The Tipperary fans on their feet cheering loudly. More changes, 4 minutes of additional time about to be played. On comes Shawnee Keneally, number 18, just to get fresh legs in there. Extra energy required at this late time by the Premier. Andrew Ormond going off. Richie Reid comes forward with the ball. They know what they must do. David Blanchfield. A goal or nothing, really. They've got to get something here out of this. On they go, still going forward. It's Owen Cody. Goalkeeper gets a stick to it. Held up there. Again, it's Rhys Shelley. Avoids the challenge by Cody. Gets it away out to the wing out as far as Robert Doyle. And Doyle, it's Noel McGrath who gets there first and drives it away way downfield. All the way down beyond Hugh Lawler. Got to get possession quickly. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes between Tipperary and Cork in the All-Ireland hurling final in 2 weeks' time. Will it happen? Tipperary under pressure. Jordan Malloy. Malloy weaving his way inside and out. Looking for a score here. They need something from it. He's got a point. A 4th. So now the lead is back down to 3.
Yeah, and he did the right thing there. He was right to take the score. He looked back and think he scored 4. The one he dropped short led to a score, but Tipperary with the 14 men, they just got inspired. Jason Ford with the 4 frees, he scored in the second half with that tight line ball. But Oisin O'Donoghue's goal is off the charts for a young player, and Darren McCarthy with a great goal, young player as well. They've really contributed.
Well, it's a 3-point game, and we now have 2 more minutes left to play. Pressure on Hugh Lawler. Back out it comes once again to Billy Ryan. The Cats chasing the game ferociously at this stage. Looking for a late score. Jordan Malloy trying to feed it in here. Winning the race here to get there is Owen Cody. Was he fouled? The referee says play on. Comes to Jordan Malloy, flicking it back in once more. Kilkenny looking for that vital goal. It was Carey who was in there. It's Rhys Shelley who's got to it. It's Rhys Shelley who drives it away back downfield again. Blanchfield coming to deliver. Just over a minute and a half still to go. Richie Reid. Kilkenny fans will believe it's still possible. They need that goal. John Donnelly looking, laying off the hand pass here towards Stephen, but couldn't get to it. It's Noel McGrath who comes in, takes the shoulder there from Billy Wright, taken down, wins the free. That'll use up a few seconds. That'll maintain Tipperary's position of dominance. 3 ahead still, and we're heading in towards the last minute of this dramatic All-Ireland hurling semi-final.
And what a brilliant piece of play by Noel McGrath. He sensed the Kilkenny player coming. He leaned into him. He knew the foul. He drew the foul. And what a completely different game that we had from yesterday. It's been absorbing, it's been physical, it's been tough. And two teams absolutely battling it out down to the wire.
Rhys Shelley taking it, going short as far as Ronan Maher. All the way down into the corner, this one comes. Shawnee Keneally looking to try and get some possession here and keep it away from the Kilkenny players, but Paddy Deegan has won it back. Sends it back in. We're into the final minute of the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Out came Mikey Breen. This is TJ Reid. TJ Reid looking for a dramatic late score somehow into John Donnelly. Is there a clear shot at goal? There is, but it's stopped by Rhys Shelley. Back out it comes as far as Brian O'Mara. What a conclusion to this match. What a contest.
Ger, I think it was Robert Doyle on the line. I think it was Robert Doyle, the corner back. It passed Shelley. He was back on the line. We'll see it in the replay, but I think it was an unbelievable block on the line.
Well, they managed to hold on to their advantage. Let's have a look at it again here. John Donnelly.
Robert Doyle on the line, Ger, with an unbelievable save.
We've played the 4 minutes of stoppage time, waiting for the referee's whistle. Tipperary fans, it's all over! Tipperary are back in the All-Ireland final for the first time since 2019. We are set for the first ever Tipperary versus Cork All-Ireland final in 2 weeks' time. The 14 men did the business after they were reduced to 14 players after 58 minutes of this contest. They played the final 14-4, 18 minutes of the game with just 14 players. Crestfallen Kilkenny players, but all those brilliant goals that Tipperary scored, 3 in the first half, by Darragh McCarthy, by John McGrath, by Jason Ford, and then that absolutely brilliant second half goal on 70 minutes, scored by the under-20 player, Oisin O'Donoghue. For the record, it's his third ever championship goal. Tip don't care. They're in the final, Michael.
Absolutely, Ger, and you have to give great credit. They'd only 3 points scored 17 minutes into the second half. Then a man sent off, and then they came to life. Big decisions during the game. Putting Jason Ford on the free is huge, but the goals count. Goals win matches. 4-21. We saw it yesterday with Cork. What a second half, and Tip deservedly in the All-Ireland final.
The teams were level on 8 occasions. It was an absolutely memorable semi-final. Hope you enjoyed it. Kilkenny 30 points. Tipperary, the winners, 4 goals and 21.
I'll tell you, one man who enjoyed it is Liam Sheedy. He enjoyed most of it anyway. We've never actually had an All-Ireland final between Cork and Tipperary. Are you okay, Liam?
Yeah, listen, I mean, just the heart that the lads showed, you know. I thought at the start of the second half we probably had 4 whites at the start of that first half, or at the start of that second half, and you were wondering that they were leaving Kilkenny in the game, and then Kilkenny got a run on us, and then they went up, and then we had a man sent off, and you felt like, you know, how are we going to come back? But just the heart and the spirit that those lads have shown, and you know, from Owen Connolly and from Rhys Shelley right up to the edge of the square here, and to the guys that came in, Noel McGrath and Oisin O'Donoghue. I mean, what a goal on the biggest stage of all. I mean, it was just an incredible finish to beat Owen Murphy from there. And yeah, look, from a Tipperary perspective, and I mean, Kilkenny, what a wonderful spectacle we got today, Joanne. But you have to give great credit to Liam Cahill and his team today. They left everything they had out in Croke Park, and now they're in All-Ireland final in 2 weeks' time.
That's probably summed up by that sheer outpouring of emotion we saw there. Jackie Tyrrell, it's obviously hard from a Kilkenny point of view. I wouldn't imagine too many people saw that coming when Darragh McCarthy was sent to the line.
Absolutely not, but I suppose Kilkenny at times have struggled playing against 14 men. But look, this is Tipperary's day. This is the coming of age of this team. It's a relatively new team. I mean, today they had leaders all over the place, from, as Liam said, from Rhys Shelley all the way through. Tosheen O'Donoghue coming on, getting that vital goal. Noel McGrath's influence when he came in. Ronan Maher, outstanding. I mean, when the game was there to be won, it seemed like only one team wanted to win it more. They hunted in packs. You know, it would feel a small bit for young Darren McCarthy, which I thought was a bit harsh. But
could you imagine what's running through that young man at the moment?
Yeah, but we've seen it early in the year when he did, and what Noel went down to him on the sideline. And you know, he has an All-Ireland final now. He is part of it. So look, it's a great day for Tipperary, bad day for Kilkenny. We lost our way completely, probably went for goals too soon. Some of our key lads and our forwards, we couldn't get on them outside of Mossy Keown. We probably lost a lot of the battles, so that's something we'll have to look at. But look, let's not take that away. Congratulations to Tip, unbelievable today.
Lovely little moment between Liam Cahill and Darren McCarthy there as well. Can you blame Ursula Kilkenny for going for goals so early, given that they were a man up?
Yeah, well, you're probably thinking that Kilkenny are going to kick on, and you know, when Tip went 14 down, you know, one player down, you're thinking Kilkenny are going to take over. But the credit has to go to Tipperary in this instance, because when Dara was sent off at the red card, the response from Tip straight away, Jake got a point. They settled back. They didn't panic. Probably Kilkenny shows signs of the pressure that was maybe on him today, panicking, maybe going for the goals. Even Jackie, you said to me there was time still to maybe chip in with a few points, but they were trying to break down that Tip defence, but they just couldn't. You know, Robert Doyle, Rhys Shelley, Owen Connolly, who had a monster game today. They had leaders all over the pitch, and I think they fully deserve it. But it's hard to believe, you know, Tip only won one game in the first 2 years of Cahill, and now they've won 5 games in a row. And what a turnaround.
They are into an All-Ireland final, and a man who was standing right beside us just a couple of weeks ago is currently with Damien, because Damien, you have man of the match.
The Ayr man of the match is Jason Ford from Tipperary, and John Joyce from Ayr is to present Jason with his man of the match award. Jason, doesn't happen easy. What's your emotions coming off the final whistle there?
Yeah, hard to process it there. I suppose just absolutely wrecked after that 70 minutes, but look, we're absolutely delighted to get over the line. I think a lot of lads stood up there in the last 10 minutes when we needed them, and just thankful to get over the line.
This doesn't apply to yourself, but for the first 10 or 15 minutes, free scores were hard to come by. Kilkenny definitely settled easier. Would you go along with that, Jason, and what got you back in the match?
Yeah, 100%. They started out with the traps really fast, and we kind of struggled to get into our flow, but you know, we said all year we just stick to the process. We know we have the players and what they're capable of, and you know, Jake stormed in there with a couple of points. John got the goal then, and I think that just kind of settled us. And you know, Dara was winning ball out in front, and we were creating a lot of chances. So yeah, it took us a little while to settle, but I think once we did, then we were into our flow, you know.
Same thing again in the second half. Kilkenny settled to get quicker again, but back to Tipperary, Kem, you went on to freeze. A second nature to you, but do you feel any pressure at this stage, Jason, despite all the experience that you have?
No, I suppose like you wouldn't be expecting it coming into a game that you would be, you know, hitting the freeze. Dara's been hitting them so well all year, and look, he was just unlucky at one or two of them kind of went outside the post. But look, if you're asked to do a job for this team, you just have to stand up and do it, and the boys have to trust us to do that.
Final question. All-Ireland final in 2 weeks is going to be a serious challenge against Cork, but after where you were last year, the hard work is paying off to a point now.
Yeah, look, as we said all year, our big aim was to get back here to Croke Park and perform, and you know, we done that today. We'll have a serious 2 weeks now, back to the training ground, and just get ready to give it one hell of a lash in the final.
Ayr man of the match, Jason Ford, Tipperary, Silver Mines.
Liam Sheedy, there is a man who soldiered with you, and he hasn't had it easy all the way, sure he hasn't.
No, he hasn't, and you know, last year he was probably dipping in now. He didn't feature much in the league this year, and maybe that suited him, Joanne, because I think he's got himself in a great shape. And you know, sometimes maybe coming off the freeze at times gives you that little bit more freedom as well to really go after it and really express yourself. I mean, his goal in the first half was just sublime, you know, and his movement all through, very, very unselfish. But, you know, we were up there in the middle of the pitch watching that match, and the point that he struck here in front of us on the sideline, just, it was a real Jason Ford score, and those frees that he got were far from easy, and he nailed every one of them, so full credit and fully deserving man in the match.
Speaking of men you know very well, there's one who's coming to join us on the studio. Noel McGrath, giving a nice big hug to his old boss Liam Sheedy here.
Well done,
Noel, congratulations.
Thanks, Joanne, thanks.
Is it very different this time getting back to an All-Ireland final?
Yeah, it is. But the feeling never gets old. It's as good as ever, and It's hard to really put into words at the moment. It's just after happening, but the initial feeling, it'll never get old for, I'd say, anyone when you're not playing. When you are playing, it's such a great feeling, and we'll enjoy it now for the next few hours, I think. And I don't know what to say, Joanne. Like that, the game ebbed and flowed. It was very like 19 semi-final, man down, and we dug in. And geez, Oisín's goal was unbelievable. What a finish!
What did you feel? I know you have been there before, but what was it like when you're there? And first of all, it was poor Darren McCarthy, who, of course, we saw you with after it happened down in Cork when he got that early red card. He's gone off the pitch. We assume Kilkenny are going to begin to slowly get on top. So what was it like down there on the surface?
You don't get a chance to think about it. Like, it just happens, and it probably nearly suited us that they went short in their puck outs, because we were able to squeeze up then, and they were hitting it long, and our backs were winning it, and we're winning the breaks off it. Like, so it actually didn't change an awful lot in that sense. Right, the ball might have been dropping a few yards further down, but I think our backs were actually nearly even better at that stage, and that they got the ball to ground. Lads came in and picked up the breaks, and like, there was some unbelievable defending at the end, and like the forward play with 5 up there was brilliant as well. Like Jason was giving an exhibition. Like, what a game. And no, it was, yeah, look, it's different, but it just happened so quick that you don't have time to think. You just have to get to the next ball, and thankfully we did. And geez, that goal, I can't wait to see it again. It was some finish.
Well, hopefully we'll get to show it to you now. So let's have a little look at what Oisín did there right at the death. I promise it is going to come up any second now. So this is when, there we go. Here you go, Noel.
Yeah, look, it was just very messy, but bodies got there that meant Kilkenny just couldn't get away the ball. That's some pick up from Jake. Got it out to Oisín. 4-5, that's some finish. That's some finish. Some finish.
You know, Liam, when you're looking at something like this, there's not much more you can say then. That is some finish.
It is some finish, but actually if you go back to the very start, Joanne, Paddy Deegan had the ball and it looked like he was going forward and he was breaking out of the fence, and all of a sudden a flick and the ball in the back of the net.
Here's Rhys Shelley's save.
It was actually Robert Dial.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
But look at the bodies of Tip players back as well.
I would have got to it.
This is every bit as important, isn't it, as Oisín's
Oh, it is. Sure, that's game over. That's game over. Time is up. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to call you old. I call you experienced, but you did mark me a long time ago, so you're probably... What have the young lads brought to the group? Like, we see Oisín O'Donoghue come in. He was outstanding in the 20 final. Robert Dial, Andrew Ormond. Have they rejuvenated the group? Have they given you more emphasis in terms of what they're about and the energy they bring?
Yeah, they bring a freshness, Jackie. You know yourself, when new lads come in, they just, I won't say they don't care, but that carefree attitude, like, when I came in, you have that as well. And as you get older, it just gets different. But them lads, they just come in, they train, they just want to play hurling. Like, they're out hitting balls before I'm even at training some nights, you know what I mean? They're just unreal, the time and effort they put into it, that everybody puts into it, and they're just carefree. Like, some of the performances there today were like lads that have been up here loads and loads of times. Like, some of them have never even been in Croke Park, let alone played up here. So,
and do you think that's the difference between Tip this year and the last couple of years where they struggled to get out with Munster?
It is. Like, let's be honest, there's probably 4, 5, 6 lads playing today at some stage that didn't play last year. Like, so that has pushed us on. Like, and it's like Anton, once you get a few results, the confidence just builds. Like, and there's a pep in your step going in training. There's a pep in your step getting up, going to matches. It's just, it just gives you that confidence and the energy that. Maybe we were only a few % off last year, and we probably flipped the percent the other way, which could be 15 or 20% in the difference. And look, it's working so far. Like, we still have no trophy on the table, you know what I mean? We're in an All-Ireland final. We'll like, you have to just fucking go in. Sorry, you have to just go in and talk about it and enjoy that there now inside, and get ready for a few weeks' time.
But I think for yourselves, Noel, for some of the younger guys to get the experience of coming up on All-Ireland finally. I mean, the first 13 minutes we only had a goal got, but they just grew into the game and they grew into Croke Park, and I think the experience in that tight match will really stand to the group, I think, in the next 2 weeks.
It has to, Liam. Like, that's some experience there today. Even coming in before the match, like the crowds in the streets, that's something new for a lot of lads, and that experience will help, and it'll be even bigger in a few weeks' time, because there'll be a sea of blue and gold and a sea of red everywhere, you know what I mean? But that's why you play. Like, why else? We're sitting at home for the last 5 or 6 years watching them days, so to be involved in it now is exactly where we want to be.
In terms of your own role, Noel, you're obviously used to playing in a very decorated career, inside, outside. Coming off the bench for those 20, 25 minutes, Have you struggled with that, or is it just something you're just chomping at the bit at the sideline watching the game to get in and see what you can do?
Look, everybody wants to play, Jackie. There's no point in saying they don't. There's 38 lads in our panel that want to play, and I'm no different to that, but you do what you're asked to do. And like if Liam wants me for 70 minutes or he wants me for 10 minutes, I'll be ready to do that. And I'm delighted to be able to give whatever I can when I can, and coming in to play with the boys there. And when they've, I suppose, a lot of the hard shift done, that you come in and the play is a bit different. You just come in and do what you have to do. And I'm 34 years of age. To be out here in Croke Park is unbelievable. I love every minute of it. And as I've said before, I'll stay doing it as long as I'm wanted, as long as I'm able, and as long as I'm enjoying it. And I don't know how you can't enjoy days like today. So I'm loving every minute of it.
Just two quick things to ask you before we do finally let you go. How good is it seeing the little brother on such good form again?
He's flying it, Josh. Look, he's had a tough few years. He's had a hard few years there, being on and off, but his form kept up with the club. Like, he kept very, very good for us. Like, he was pulling us through club matches there when things weren't maybe going for him as good with Tip. And like out there today, he scored 1, 2 or 3, I think. Probably could have had another goal or two. He's had an unbelievable championship so far. But everyone in Tip knows the class that he has, and everyone outside of Tip is realising it now again. And
goals are on his mind anyway. At all
they are.
stages,
but you see, we had three full forward line, a goal each, and Oisin came on the full forward line, another goal. So look, it's great. There's a lot of lads in good form, and everybody will be looking forward to the next 2 weeks again.
Did you watch yesterday's semi-final and the 7 goals going in?
We did. Like, I love watching hurling. I'd watch any matches that are on. So, you know, you're sitting down watching it yesterday evening with your mind on today as well. And we'll look at that from tomorrow on now, and we'll see. We'll get out of here today, and we'll enjoy the journey back down and get ourselves up to go again in 2 weeks.
Well, neither Jackie or anybody's allowed to call you old, because I distinctly remember only a few years ago interviewing you when you were man of the match in the minor All-Ireland final here. It was only a few years ago. Noel, thank you very much for coming up here.
Joanne,
best luck in a couple of weeks' time.
Amy.
Let's hear from one of those teammates now. Here's Brian O'Mara with Damien.
Brian, unbelievable battle to the end. You've had to come back into that game twice. What was the key behind it, do you think?
I don't know. I'd say faith from the management, maybe. We went, I think we were a goal to, it must have been 8 or 9 points behind there, and it just felt like they were on all over us. You know, we couldn't get the ball out, and then Owen Connolly came up with a few massive scores. You know, Conor Stakelum, and we just seemed to rally around kind of individual moments like that, and thank God then we got over the line.
Just, I suppose, when Darragh went off, then they did appear to be finding the extra man at the start, but you closed it down pretty quickly too. Was it just bodies on the line stuff whenever the ball came near you?
Yeah, I can't commend our forwards enough. When we went down a man, it felt like they just got a new lease of life. It's like they started the game again. There was bodies flying in. It felt like we had an extra man down in this end of the field for a while, you know, and full credit to our forwards. Just unbelievable work.
Brian, the belief that you're showing is absolutely incredible. It's not incredible, I suppose, as you speak, but compared to last year and the battles that you had, is it just true hard work, and is it just true game by game learning this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, anyone that knows any of the players will know, like, we had some sleepless nights last summer, you know. I mean, we got it in the neck off everyone last year, and we probably deserved it, you know. We went back nice and early this year in our individual pods, and we just put the shoulder to the wheel and said, look, I mean, like, where do you go from here? You have to turn it around yourselves. There's no one here to pull us out with this fire, you know. So we did had to do it ourselves. And look, we're back in the final, but again, we've nothing won. You know, Cork have league and Munster won, and they'll be raging favourites for the All Ireland again, and that's fine. You know, we'll go at them.
And final question to you: the strength and depth of the squad. Like, lads came on there, you know, even Alan Tyne and Noel McGrath, block downs, running onto the ball off the shoulder, and you show great bravery playing out of the backs at times as well. It's important.
Absolutely, yeah. And like, Alan came on in the first half as a blood sub and got a massive block down over here on the sideline. Noel gave a pass that he, you know, might have just a heat of battle, mightn't have given, like we all did at times in that game, and then went out and got the block down to turn it back over. You know, like, unbelievable stuff. Just can't commend him enough.
Yeah, and well done in a great display yourself, and good luck in the final.
Thanks, lads. Cheers.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, warrior display from Brian O'Mara and from Tipperary in general. Interestingly, we still haven't got confirmation of exactly what the final score was, but what we do know is that for the first time ever, we are going to have an All-Ireland hurling final between the counties of Cork and Tipperary. Here's a chance for you to win with the competition.
Here's your chance to jet off with Aer Lingus on their new direct route to Nashville, flying from Dublin 4 times a week. Check it out on airlingus.com. Touching down in Music City, you'll spend 5 nights at Thompson Nashville, a boutique luxury hotel in the vibrant Gulch neighbourhood, just steps from Broadway's iconic live music scene. And to help you explore, there's a VIP Star Card visitor pass for 2 with free admission to more than 25 top attractions. Plus, you'll get $1,000 in spending money to enjoy the nightlife, local cuisine and non-stop lineup of shows. More on visitmusiccity.com. For your chance to win, answer this week's question. Which of these is the current manager of the Meath senior football team? Is it Davy Fitzgerald, Robbie Brennan or Jack O'Connor? To enter, call 15 17 71 71 74 or text the word GAME followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday, July 7th. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
It's all heating up now. Oh, it is, yeah.
Take the edge off the mark.
And Kerry have dethroned the champions. There's a point for the taking. Up and over the bar. They're on their way to the semi-finals.
You realise you copied Saoirse in on that email?
I know. What am I like?
Here she is, we're fired.
Aoife.
Saoirse!
Anything you'd like to say about
Breakfast?
Go on.
Aren't they great?
Great, they're lovely.
Did you go to the restaurant?
Good food, good mood from Aldi.
McDonald's burgers are prepared to order. And the patties are made from whole cuts of beef sourced from farms across Ireland with a pinch of salt and pepper, nothing else. Oh, and some onions added at the grill. There's not much else to say, really. That sizzle speaks louder than words. Right, here comes the jingle.
Born with 300 bones, 10,000 taste buds, the ability to grow half a centimetre in a week. Baby's development fascinates us. That's why SMA Nutrition has been researching since 1919 to pioneer baby nutrition with vitamin D to help support the normal function of baby's immune system, with the power to make you smile in an instant. SMA Follow-On Milk.
I think I left my bank card somewhere.
Did you lose it last night? What? I said, did you lose it last night? Told you not to trust that little guy.
Oh, I thought he was sound.
Gab! I'll just freeze on the app, so. There you are, you goose.
Relax with a Bank of Ireland current account. Get started today.
I just switched my phone plan to 48 mobile. It's $12.99 a month, unlimited data, no annual price hikes.
That's a big gap.
Gosh, it's gorgeous.
48 mobile. It's a big yep.
Amazon Prime Day is from the 8th to the 11th of July. 4 days of big deals on electronics, home, kitchen and more. That'll make you feel like a big deal. Amazon Prime Day is from the 8th to the 11th of July. Prime membership required. Join Prime now on amazon.ie.
Hello there. Oi. Head and shoulders. Didn't know you had dandruff.
I don't.
I don't either, if you're asking. It's time for a demonstration.
Head and Shoulders helps wash away dandruff and oil, and used regularly prevents it coming back. Head and Shoulders, dermatologically tested to use every wash. Looking gorgeous.
Talking goat.
Clash of the Ash. Not as fun when you're on the other side of the hurley, let me tell you.
Where there's hurling, there's Centra.
They had a long wait to get back to Croke Park, but didn't it serve them well when they did? Liam Cahill has guided his own native county to the All-Ireland final last time they were here. They had victory over Kilkenny, as it happened, in the 2019 All-Ireland final, led by one Mr. Liam Sheedy. This afternoon, it's another Liam Cahill, who's guided Tip back to that very, very place where, of course, they're going to play Cork. But this game, just like back in 2019 with Liam, it was not without controversy. So first of all, we have a look at the red card for Darragh McCarthy. 2 yellow cards.
Yeah, 2 yellow cards. This one for me is a yellow card. He actually flicks Paddy Deegan coming out with the ball. There was actual a striking intent in it. And from that point on, Darragh McCarthy needs to be careful, because obviously he got sent off earlier in the year in the round robin. And then this one, I feel this is harsh, Joanne. I don't feel it's a yellow card. Owen Murphy jinx, and it's just a trail and hurl. Does make connection with his hand. I don't see any intent. He's not actually even looking at Owen Murphy. He actually stops looking at him because he's gone by him, and it's a loose hurl.
Does it fall into the careless use of the hurley category?
I don't think. No. That's not careless use for me. I feel that is a little bit harsh. He has left himself open to be a yellow card, but God, that's harsh for me.
Yeah. It is unlucky on him.
Unlucky.
It is unlucky on him, because there was no intent there. It was,
the first one there was, because there was
a
little flick. The second one, it was just a trail and hurl for me.
That's not the real controversy here, though, because a little while after that, we saw Mikey Carey being booked. Paddy Deegan was also involved there. Paddy Deegan was already on a yellow, so had Deegan been given the yellow card, he also would have gone.
Yeah, and you'll see it here on the screen now, Joanne. Andrew Ormond again done us really well. Thought he was outstanding today. He looks to break away, and Mikey Carey's on the front. Paddy Deegan's at behind, but clearly Paddy Deegan makes contact with the helmet, and I would say that is the second yellow, and so he got away. I don't know, whether it was a case of mistaken identity or what the conversation was between the linesman and James Owens, but Mikey Carey ended up getting a yellow card. And I think it should have been a second yellow for Paddy Deegan, and that would have been the end of his involvement on the day.
Could it have been even worse? Because obviously it's gone to the back of the helmet there in that incident as well. Regardless, so the point is that it's Deegan who should have received at least a second yellow.
Yeah, he's very, very lucky, and obviously anything head high. I'd question, we've a linesman there as well who's within a metre or two of the play. You would imagine there should be the communication there to see. You can see how close the linesman is. Andrew Ormond does brilliantly to hold on to possession, but look where the linesman is. He's within a metre. Surely he has a pretty good view of Paddy Deegan there. He's in direct line, so we obviously have the luxury of being able to look at replays and that, but there are big calls and big moments, and there was 5 minutes left in the game. Look, we don't know what might have happened if he got sent off, but it could have had a huge bearing on the game.
Yeah, but in the end it didn't, because of that Oisin O'Donoghue goal towards the end, and of course the fine save from Tipperary as well. So what a day it has been for Tipperary and for their manager Liam Cahill.
Ferocious battle. It was always going to be like that, though. But what are your thoughts?
Damien, sure, look, it's so hard to process after, after, as you said, a titanic battle like that. But just really proud, really proud of the battling quality of our players today in Tipperary, and, two age-old rivals going at it, hammer and tongs, and huge credit to Kilkenny as well. They're just a super hurling county, and you just never have them put away. And I really genuinely thought with 3 or 4 minutes to go that we weren't maybe going to get out the gap, but testament to our guys and the commitment and the work ethic they've shown all week or all year, Damien, has been just incredible, and I'm very, very proud of them.
There was nearly 6 chapters to that story, because it took you a while to settle, and then goal. But they came back to you again in the second half. He got back into it. Darragh got sent off, and then I suppose they got their purple patch, and he finished strongly again. It's just a mad game to process.
Yeah, that's what games like Tip and Kilkenny and big sides meet. That's the way it usually goes. We would have been disappointed with our start, really. You're correct in saying that. We struggled early to get to the pitch of it, and You know, but towards the middle of the first half, I thought we got to grips with the way we intended in playing, and were reasonably happy going in 4 up at half time, but lost our way again then in the start of the second half. But again, we finished with a flurry, and it's credit to, you know, the work that has been done with these fellas. You know, Angela Welsh, our S&C man, has incredible work done with this team, and you know, the younger brigade again come to the table with the mix of the more elder statesmen, and it's just a great day for Tipperary.
With 14 men, they look to be spraying the ball around and using the extra man well. What happened then, Liam, to turn the screw back in your favour again?
I think a number of the players, the fresh legs we brought on, we kind of, you know, a lot of players were double gigging there in the forward line in particular, trying to make two of themselves really to stop that ball coming out really easily. And you know, Richie Reid with that short poke out was hurting us big time, and it was just so difficult when when you're playing 15v14 with the skill of them Kilkenny players, the way they were able to work the ball up the field. But I think the way we worked back, and you know, we defended together and attacked together, even though we were down to 14 with whatever minutes to go. Again, it was testament to the resilience and the big commitment and fitness levels of these guys was really good.
Just a final question. Oisín, I don't know how he got a swing in for that goal at all, but he's been doing it every game he brought him on, and I suppose the bravery to play the way you're playing and go for youth as well is a hallmark of the side.
It is. It's, you know, I think everybody knows it's been difficult enough, Damien, personally to navigate over the last 2 years, and we all knew, I suppose, when a fella started out that there was going to be change required to bring through a new generation of players, and there's a high number of them there today, and I think that will stand them well as they head forward. So you know, as I said, just delighted now to be in the final, and let's see what can happen.
Yeah, well done. Thanks, Liam.
Yeah, thanks Damien.
And we can finally confirm the final score after some confusion amongst the officials. They have decided that it was Tipperary for 21 to 30 points for Kilkenny. Liam Cahill has taken an awful lot of stick down through the years, despite the fact that this is, of course, the second Senior All-Ireland final he's made it to as manager, because he brought Waterford there as well back in 2020. Tell us about even what he talked with Damien there about having to do that big turnover that Jackie highlighted before the game started.
Yeah, he's got a huge amount right. And look, I think the stick was, you know, last year I think Tip were disappointed with how the championship played out, and I think it was fair, right? But it wasn't simply on Liam Cahill's shoulder. You know, it just didn't happen for Tipperary last year. I think Noel was very honest in his analysis of it too. But you'd have to say this year, from the word go, from the get-go in that league, he set out his stall, he made his positional switches, he had the troops that he wanted in, and it's worked for him. And I mean, Conor Stakelum coming in and getting 3 points in that first half, that was a huge change. Moving Brian O'Mara over onto John Donnelly, that was a huge moment in the match. Alan Tynan came on as a blood sub, he got a block in. Noel McGrath got a block in. Oisín O'Donoghue got a magical goal, which we're going to look at in a minute. So a lot of the big calls all went right. You know, Adrian Mullen didn't look happy going off. Stephen Donnelly came on, Kilkenny had no real bench impact. I suppose I was of the view coming into the game that if Tip could be with Kilkenny down the home straight, back in the day they used to say that the second best team in Ireland was down in Kilkenny. You know, but they don't have that anymore.
So they used to, just to clarify, you mean the first and the second best?
The first and the second, yes, they're wrong.
But what's a very bold move, he flipped his 3 and his 6. All year long he's built his team, but Ronan Marr 6, Owen Connolly 3, and that was from early doors, and today he flipped them and it worked really well. Owen Connolly was very secure at 6, got 3 points. Ronan Marr tied TG up, looked very safe and secure. That was a bold move of him, so all the big calls.
But I think there's that flexibility in the Tip setup, even in the attack. You know, even Jake being able to go inside, he caused danger in there as well. So I think it's the flexibility across adapting it to whatever opposition you're playing, and that's made a difference hugely.
And as does, as you say, magical when somebody's able to pop up with, I mean, even just hearing Noel's reaction watching Oisín O'Donoghue's goal again kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just incredible. But again, it came from Alan Tynan. He turned over Paddy Deegan. And again, watch Noel here. You know, the ball is hanging on. Just watch this flick here. Just that little touch out. Jake gets the ball in a way and over to Oisín. And he did all to do. Now the hand is up, so he has a free got. So he goes for the shot. You know, very, very smart. But there was the moment. That was the one. Alan Tynan's turnover. And again, Oisín O'Donoghue. I mean, this guy, he's under 20 again next year, Joanne. I mean, to be at this level, I mean, the goal he got against Galway the last day, and again coming on and getting the goal today. And here we had a brilliant piece of defence. You know, in fairness, Kilkenny were trying. And, you know, when Robert Dial went back cornerback, I don't think they expected him to be a part-time goalie as well. I mean, what an incredible save. Like, it's gone through Reese and you're waiting for the net to rattle. And there's Robert Dial batting it out, and out they come and go. go away again. So look, it's a special moment for Liam and Mikey Cal. They've soldiered a long time together at underage in Tip, went and plied their trade in Waterford and are back today and now have this team in All-Ireland final, and I would say, Joanne, well before their time. They're well ahead of schedule.
And you're talking about the big decisions. The fact that Darren McCarthy, the frees weren't going right, TJ seemed to be putting all the frees over for Kilkenny, up popped Jason Ford, was the very first when he got one of the most difficult frees there was out there.
Yeah, and he was as cool as a breeze, and he looked even confident in striking it. But, you know, Conor Stakelum, who Liam mentioned in the first half, got 3 points. But in the second half, what impressed me most was he won 3 vital frees at crucial stages in the second half. His work rate was off the charts. He was brave. He was in around that kind of war zone. But having someone like Jason Ford just to step up and take those frees so confidently, you know, was a massive boost for Tipperary, because obviously Darren McCarthy went off, and you need someone like him cool under pressure, and nothing seemed to faze him today. And I think Cahill and his management team deserve a huge amount of credit for these guys like John McGrath and Jason Ford. You know, they're nearly rejuvenated this year. They're playing even with greater confidence, and you know, we speak about age, but age is only a number when you've got a skill set like Jason Ford, and free taking today was a vital component to Tip's success.
We'll talk a little bit about that more in a moment, but we have the Kilkenny manager Derek Ling with us live now.
Derek, commiserations. You started off great and you started the second half off great as well. What are your thoughts maybe at the final whistle?
Look, very flat now, very disappointed. Like you said, we started again very well, and you know, obviously Tip came into it then and got 3 goals in the first half, and momentum completely went with them, and you know, we kept at it. I thought we really came strong in the second half and showed a huge amount of character, and look, they're a great group of players, and it's just fine margins then. You know, when they had a sending off, unfortunately they upped the tempo a little bit, and you know, we got caught a couple of times in possession. Maybe we thought we had a little bit more time, and look at that, these things can happen, but I thought, you know, to a man, our players fought really diligently in the second half, and look, we're very disappointed now at the end of it.
And even from the second half, you pushed up in the tip puck out. You weren't allowing them space to build the channels like they had in the first half, and you completely got a good grip of that game.
No, we did, and I suppose, look, you'd be disappointed maybe with some of the scores and some of the frees we conceded at that stage, and you know, we're on top, I felt, and but look, that's the game of hurling. It can be a mad game, and it's Tipperary, in fairness to them, look, they got the scores, crucial scores at the end. We didn't do enough at the end to get us over the line, and it's a tough one for us to take now.
It's very fine margins as well, Derek, because like TJ didn't miss the ball all day. You know, Billy was playing great hurling as well. Your scores were going over, and but bodies on the line all over the field as well, and your backs look to have got a good grip in the second half too. But is it just fine margins? Is that all it is, really?
It is, yeah. Look, I mean, it's when you get to the last 4 semi-final like this, yeah, you know, we have to be a little bit more clinical and better on the ball. And look, like I said, like, it's fine margins. I'm very proud of the effort our players put in all year, and unfortunately we're on the other side of it, and that's the game, and you know, we'll have to take it on the chin.
Thanks for your time all year, Derek.
Thanks, Damien.
Yeah, not easy for Derek Ling. You do wonder though, Jackie, will he have some regrets? Because you talked about how they waited until they'd conceded 3 goals before they changed what they were doing in relation to where Hugh Lawler was being dragged out from the danger area. Then we heard Noel stand there and say he was surprised at their approach to the puckouts, and it nearly sounded like they got a bit of a boost.
When Derek looks back, there'll definitely be areas I looked and feel they could have been better. Defensively today, I didn't think they were great. To concede 4-21, for Hugh to be pulled out of the square, like that Oisin O'Donoghue goal at the end, there was 4 Kilkenny lads around him, and a chap of 20 years of age being able to get a strike and put it in the top corner. That shouldn't happen. At the big moments when Darren McCarthy got sent off, Tip won them all. Mikey Butler, 2 chances to raise a ball, he didn't get it. Adrian Mullen did it twice. Those fine margins, there was loads of them, and when you add them all up, that was the difference today. But when the game was there to be won, when Darren McCarthy got sent off, Derek spoke about, they upped the tempo. Kilkenny didn't. and probably tried to force goals a little too early. So there's definitely areas that he looked back.
But you'd also have to say, Jackie, like, you didn't look like a team that had an extra man. So what, like the structure of how they use, I didn't think they were tactically astute when they did get the extra man. I thought they just went raining in ball, and I think, you know, Noel was spot on. Like, they out to the full back line and rained it in long, and Mikey Breen and Ronan Maher and Owen Connolly and these guys were lapping it up, you know, and Tip pushed up and played a really, really good game. But I thought it was an inept performance when it comes to the use of an extra man in that last period. It cost them the game ultimately.
Our forwards actually bunched in, which meant when we had the ball or across our half back line or full back line, did no real outlets. There was no one coming looking from outside of John Donnelly. Everyone kind of went into the square, so they had to go long. So the forwards stopped coming looking for the ball, which created the space. And then when we did get ball in there was so many Tip lads, it was crowded, it was so hard to get through.
So 2 years in a row, Derek Lyng's Kilkenny side exit the championship at the semi-final stage, and that means that we have an All-Ireland final for 2025, which of course we'll have live for you on the Sunday game. Cork against Tipperary on the 20th of July. Ursa, you were saying, I can't believe it's the first time they've met in the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to believe, you know, with both teams dominating at different stages, that they've never met at this stage. I think we're going to be in for a really intriguing game. Obviously, Cork are going in as huge favourites. That'll suit Tip down to the ground. Maybe some people weren't expecting that Tip would be here, you know, and they'll just focus on themselves in the next 2 weeks. Like, Cork have beaten them well twice this year already in the league final and obviously in round 2 of Munster. So, like, Tip know they're up against it, but that's the challenge. I think they've stood up to most challenges this year, and as I said earlier, they've won 5 games in a row now, but obviously in 2 weeks' time that's going to be the biggest test.
You can talk the sort of airy-fairy, you owe them one sort of thing. How do you improve from what happened? Obviously, you were down a man for very long in the Munster game down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. But even when you heard Neil O'Callaghan talk about what he said was the most complete performance from Cork yesterday.
Yeah, but you know, the only thing you get out of this weekend, Joe, is Joanne is a pass into the final. That's all you get. You know, no matter how well you played, that 7-26 is completely irrelevant. You know, we were 4-1 to take on these boys there 15 years ago. And, you know, the outcome in an All-Ireland final day will take on a day of its own merits. And this Tip team, there's character, there's energy, there's youth and there's experience in this squad. Cork at times yesterday, while they were awesome at some parts of the game, I don't know that do Cork any good yesterday. You know, it was too easy for them, and I thought some of their play was you know, at times, obviously when they're on, Joanne, they're scintillating. I think the big thing for Liam is when he sits down, how does he look to plot a way to stop 13, 14 and 15 getting quality ball in? Because that Cork inside forward, that's what you got to think about, you know. And I think Liam and Mikey have a bit of research to do, get their heads about it. But, you know, what didn't work, I think they've learned a lot in the last 2. It could be third time lucky, Joanne, you'd never know.
That's what everybody's been thinking with this Cork team, though. That's what everybody's been trying to stop them doing. And yet, people are struggling to stop it.
Yeah, but Tip are in bonus territory. Like at the start of the year, no one thought Tip would be here. They're there. They're there on merit. They'll come in under the radar. Cork will be talked up. The hype train is in full flow. And, like, Liam is right. If they can somehow make that middle third a war zone, get parity there, defensively with Ronan Maher at 3, he'll be able to go toe-to-toe with some of those lethal forwards inside. So, as I say, it can, and Tip have the ability of just coming out of nowhere every so often, pitching All Ireland, and then hibernating for 20 years.
Stop it.
What a way to finish
There's
this epic weekend of All Ireland hurling semi-finals. And of course, they will be brought to life once again on tonight's Sunday game. Thank you, Ursula, to Liam and to Jackie as well. Of course, it's All Ireland semi-final next weekend. Not only that, but we also have a really eagerly awaited Tailteann Cup final. So join us from 2:15 on RT2. Until now, bye-bye.